Okay. Looks like we are live.
Oh, yeah, we got Will back.
Yep,
There we
I'm
go.
here.
Okay. I'm just checking, make sure the stream is live here. It looks good to me. Checking the audio. Audio looks good. Simon say something, or Will say something.
Hey,
Yep, looks good. Cool. All right, guys. We have season 14 cuts with Nick Patry from the Montreal Shark Tank playing Web Warriors. He's got ASM, Baron Zemo, Black Cat, Black Widow, Elektra, Spider-Woman, Miles Morales, Spectacular Spider-Man, Gwenom, and Ghost Spider, and he'll be playing against Horith or Theo, playing Xavier X-Men over from Australia. He's got Charles, Nightcrawler, Rogue, Storm, Wong. I wonder if there's a Storm pivot in here. Juggernaut, Iceman, Black Cat, Bill, and Beast. And with me on commentary, we have Simon from the Montreal Shark Tank and Will
guys.
from the Gamestore Guardians.
hey, what's going on?
All right, so we've got, make sure I have this on the correct side. Theo's this way, so we go this way. I'll message these guys that we're all good to start. Good to go.
I'll make sure my phone is muted because we're a professional operation.
Yes. All right.
Yeah, I'm really
Mike.
looking forward to see Theo's list in action. He's got a couple spicy tech in his list, so looking forward to see how it goes.
Congrats to
Look like
Schmidt. By the way, I see Schmidt's in the chat. I streamed his game earlier today, and I watched most of the game. And first of all, Schmidt, you come out here talking shit about people that play Hellfire, and then you're running Dynamo and Ultron on Demons. I don't want to hear anything from you anymore.
He knows what he did.
Yeah. All right. Rolling for Prio. I should probably turn on the streamer view. I see. I'm gonna guess Simon got me on that already.
Sir.
Yeah, Simon's a pro. That's why we have Canadians here. Better than us at MCP. Better than us at streaming. Looks like Patry got it. I assume he's gonna take his secures. Yes. So we got
I guess so, yeah.
Senators. I'm excited for this because everyone talks about Xavier having like a sweet Senator set up. So I want to see what he does here. I'm assuming that Horith or Theo has a plan. I played a little bit of Senators with Xavier, and I'm a little sloppy with it, so I definitely want to see what his opening is. I'm going to assume he picks 19 here. I don't know. I don't think there's a reason to go lower, unless, Simon, do you think that maybe he might...
No, with his list, I would go 19 because he has like a bit of the Mystique overlap for the scenario with Juggernaut here. So, like, I'm probably expecting Juggernaut, Iceman, Nightcrawler, Xavier, and Black Cat. That sounds right? 4, 4, 6. Yeah. So, 19 lets you play Xavier, Nightcrawler, Black Cat, Iceman, and Juggernaut, which opens up options nicely to both steal and get Xavier's going really quickly with either Juggernaut or Nightcrawler.
Yeah, I see Theo is doing some measurements here before... I'm not sure if he's picked threat or not yet.
Yep.
I guess probably trying to figure out... Yeah, his side. Yeah, that's what I would expect. I don't know.
Almost-
That size for Hauler could be a problem. I could see that causing an issue. Trying to steal an opposing Senator.
I think he was measuring range 3 roughly away from range 3 because he is playing mass transit here.
Oh, he has. I didn't realize he brought mass transit.
Yes, and
That's
it
a
is
great
one
card.
of the reasons I think Wong is in his list just to enable the mass transit round 1 and to be able to threaten all 6 Senator and be able to put a lot of very aggressive pressure early on. And one of the things for people who don't know Theo, he's been playing X-Men for a very long time. He's probably up there with Ghost Deer, Nate from the Taco Truck. Like, he's been playing X-Men since the quote-unquote bad days. So I am looking forward to what he's going to be bringing to the table today.
I think he's the only X-Men in the cuts, right?
I think it's very possible.
Yeah.
Correct, yes.
There wasn't a lot of them this season.
I think people. I mean, you and I talked about this a bunch privately. People were really down on X-Men post the new releases, and you and I were in the opposite direction. We thought that they're really solid and people should give them more of a fair shake.
Oh, he is the only X-Men player in the finals.
I think that's just the immediate reaction whenever anything gets nerfed. Like, oh my god, it's all of a sudden it's terrible. But
Yeah.
it's really not that bad. Especially like X-Men still has first class, so if he's using Storm, that Storm hop, yeah, you're paying 1 to hop, but like you're still
But it's
interacting for free on the
marginal.
first turn. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, that was my experience. I found the loss of cover to be much more impactful
Yeah.
than the one.
Yeah.
It really,
Like, the one power really barely changed anything. Like, you feel it at some time. Like, it mostly makes it more awkward for your splashes if you have splashes that don't have a good power economy.
Mhm.
But besides that, it's really honestly, like, it's super fine.
the cover loss really hurt me playing Psylocke and Rogue. Rogue, not because like she's much worse, but she was like stupidly tanky before, with DR and the cover. But Betsy, she used to have like these perfect ranges where she either like had cover or
Or
she had
martial
martial artists. It's like, oh god, I missed that so much.
Yeah, although these characters like got hurt on by the by this changes by that change a lot. I think also the ability to splash kind of fragile characters like Pyros and Ghost Spiders got hurt a lot just because those models tended to rely a lot on the cover to be able to do their job, and without it, they are still very fragile. And especially models like Ghost Spider and Pyros, which used to be stable in X-Men, are not as prevalent anymore because it disrupts their power economy and they aren't as resilient as they used to.
Yeah, I used to be a big fan of Ghost Spider in X-Men. The hop obviously lets her do some funky stuff, but just like the extra control, X-Men never really loved scoundrels, and she's like one of the ultimate scoundrel characters that can really. Ooh, we're activating squads here. I'm gonna start by taking a look. I want to see what the X-Men player is up to here. Juggernaut, as you expected, he's doing Wong stuff. Nightcrawler, Rogue.
Nice.
Do we see Mass Transit? Xavier
Yes,
Stream.
Matt Transit called it.
Nice. Oh, I'm excited. I was gonna go get a beer, but I might have to either sprint for that beer or wait till after round 1. And then on Nick's side, 6 wide, which I expected. Electris. Electris is such a great play. I'm certain he has her in the list specifically for senator stuff. Maybe some other. I mean, I should know the answer because he was on my podcast and we talked about Electris specifically, but I don't remember.
She's also a tech for the mirror because the Mystic attack with Purus is really good.
Yeah.
And the grunts still allow you like scenario play. Them being able to pick up like close objectives like Spider Infected and cubes and pass them on while saving power to the webs is really impactful.
All right.
So like she has these little corner cases used, which make her really solid.
I'm gonna grab that beer before this starts.
I loved Electra. I loved Electra when I was using her in X-Force for a while. She was really good.
Yeah, honestly, like her little tweaks on the glow up made such a big difference on how she feels to play.
Amazing how well you give somebody a little bit of power, they actually do their job.
Yep. Like honestly, her kit just flows super well now. I've played her a lot in Criminal Syndicate, and she feels really solid. And on Theo's side, we have Professor X, Rogue, Nightcrawler, Wong, and Juggernaut. As much as I am not a fan of Wong in Xavier list, I think being able to enable mass transit round 1 is really very impactful play. And I think it might be one of the few conditions where I really like seeing Wong here. And you have like a lot of characters that can benefit from the leadership, from Xavier's leadership, either proactively or reactively. Like Juggernaut with DR1 when he pays, fuels a power to someone else. Rogue is probably the biggest and most efficient recipient of all that power, being able to convert it into a lot of damage. So yeah, looking forward to see how this game's gonna go.
You and I talked a lot of crap, me especially, about Wong in Xavier, so
yeah,
we'll see if he proves us wrong here. Although I never tried any mass transit stuff, though.
Yeah, I think for me that's the thing that probably sells me on Wong in this specific list, is that he is there for very explicit and like known game plan and purpose. So this makes me not as down on him, because even though you're kind of playing not a great two threat, you're still leveraging a lot of very forward and aggressive positioning. So you trade that downside of playing Wong for a huge tempo swing round one.
Somewhere Jeff just twitched because you said Wong isn't a good two threat.
In X-Men. Like,
Doesn't matter. He'll defend Wong till he dies.
So, with what's the opening for Theo here, you think? Is it going with Juggernaut and walking and picking up an opposing senator, or is he... Because you want to use... I assume you want to mass transit with Nightcrawler, so is that...
that would
like,
probably be my first thing. Like, go with Wong first to set up mass transit. You do Fateful Assistant for the extra power. You do Meditate, Fateful Assistant to pass one on Nightcrawler, give it one with Xavier, and then set up mass transit next round. Because imagine you're playing your Juggernaut, you teleport him range 3 forward before he even goes. So I think it's going to give him a lot of very...
Is it enough, though, to... Because there's a lot of VPs on the board. You want to be able to get two... You want to be able to get two secures, and I'm assuming if you're going to use all those resources, I'm guessing your goal is to get 4 senators. So if you're spending your first turn not picking up a senator... I just haven't seen Mass Trans in action, so I know it costs an action to use, and then he's staggered afterwards?
Yep, that is correct.
Yeah.
So I guess he could... will he have the power to be able to pick up a senator after using Mass Transit?
He has first class.
Oh, Simon, that's why you're the X-Men guy. I forgot about that part.
I expect Wong to just do his shenanigans and get to the back console, and I am going to presume that Theo is going to be aiming to do either a 3-3 split on Senator, but to leverage very aggressive positioning, or go down 2-4 on Senator and just try to get a very early lead on attrition.
Yeah, attrition is kind of rough here, though, because you've got 6 wide webs, and you've got riots, and you've got 10 VPs. While that's true, with all your characters starting in the middle of the board, most of them will be able to attack twice. That's true, and Rogue is basically getting 2.5 attacks or 3 attacks because of mutant absorption.
Yeah.
So if he can...
Juggernaut gets to go, move, slap, pick up something.
I wouldn't be surprised if Juggernaut goes and takes the back D.
Yeah, that's a very real possibility. And there's
That's a size 4, so he can't break the hauler back there. So it'll be a little difficult. Let me see. It might be a little difficult to take that back D. But you should still be able to.
Yeah, he might still be able to if he deploys on the left side.
Well, he's going to mass transit him up, so it doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. But if you mass transit him up, then he doesn't have to worry about going around the size 4. He could just go to the left side of the size of the hauler and get on the D.
I'm also going to be looking to see where he plays or keeps Charles throughout the game. Because I think most people talk about Charles and keeping him away from the action, and that might be part of the problem, because then they're getting less value out of their 4th threat.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, but that's one of the things where I think Charles probably has a good matchup into Web Warrior, as them needing to pay 2 to hit his weak defense is actually pretty rough.
Yeah.
Just because it hurts their power economy a lot, and being able to threaten with Root and the Builder is really good. So I think he can act as a very efficient disruptive piece for Webs here. Oh, I am not... Oh, it's within 2 of Nightcrawler. Ooh, I am not sure Juggernaut is going to be close enough for the mass transit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's just a little bit out.
Yeah, range 2 probably. I think you could have deployed Juggernaut just behind Nightcrawler if you're teleporting anyway. But we'll see how it goes.
I really like Nick's squad here, though. I'm going to assume he's got very little experience into an X-Men doing this kind of setup, even though you play them locally. So they're could play a factor in the first round. Like the first time you see something can be a little rough.
Yeah, definitely. I think like mass transit plans, especially, are like very forward. So like it's going to be difficult to adapt and see just how Theo's going to deploy it.
Yeah, it looks like they're talking something over. Everyone's deployed. Testing
That's
something
mine.
out.
Yep.
Spider-Woman? Oh, duh. Yeah, Nick had Prio. So he's going to go. Is he going to get aggressive and steal a center? I would.
Of course you would.
Well, I
I
think,
think
you
there's
have to in senators.
Yeah.
she either gets cover, a martial artist. She's relatively resilient. I think you're fine stealing all this.
First class is played.
Yep. And for the people watching at home, this is not where you should be playing first class.
I was just thinking that.
Normally, it's at the beginning of the activation phase, so before any player chooses who to activate. It's really like
Yeah.
right after the power phase.
It should be noted, though, if you tell your opponent they can't play first class, that you are a dick. So
True.
it's
I agree with
so, even though you're right, and I agree with you, I just start by flipping first class before we do anything.
And so it's also the same thing with like cat and mouse or whatever. It's like one of those things. Oh yeah, I'm doing this.
All right, so he meditated, passed the power to Nightcrawler, so Nightcrawler's starting on 3.
Yep. And I am very much expecting the mass transit here.
Yeah, he's putting a lot of eggs in that basket. Oh, can you mass transit on? It has to be Nightcrawler's activation, obviously, because it's
Yes,
active.
It has to be. Yeah. That was one of the questions on the forum.
I
when
remember
card
that,
first came
yeah.
out. Like, can I use somebody else's action for it? It's like, no.
Yeah, some
Yeah, well, you had
copium.
to ask, right? Like, because if it wasn't the case, it would be a lot better.
Oh
Yeah.
man, this is real scary for Theo. That if Nick steals 2 of his senators,
I think he's still going to be able to steal some of the senators back. I think the tempo loss from mass transit in regards to the senator pickup is probably just going to put him down 4-2. So we'll see just how he tries to leverage mass transit effectively here.
I do like
other
that
thing-
Juggernaut is positioned on the same side as Cat. Juggernaut he's one of the characters you like throwing into Black Cat because he's got the 1 guaranteed damage and the large dice pool. So even though she turns off crits, his large dice pool is often enough to get the 3 or 4 damage you need and then do the slide. So I don't know. I'm assuming that Theo did that intentionally. I don't know if Nick placed Cat down earlier, but that's something I would do.
Oh, I like this.
To me, my X-Men to move Nightcrawler into position.
Oh.
All right, that is spicy.
Okay. Yeah, none of us saw that. That's why this is an exciting game to watch because this is all stuff that none of us has really seen.
He taps mass transit because there's no flip side.
That's awesome. I think anyone who's in the minis has played MTG at some point.
Yeah.
Most people. All right, so he is going to teleport Nightcrawler and put everyone. Yeah, like here with first class, he's going to be able to pick his own senator, probably attack Black Cat, and if he deals at least 1 damage, teleport on this the extremis that's on the southern side, right?
Not just teleport, but then also hand the power to somebody else to do something. I would probably hand it to Juggernaut just so that he can move, slide, and be of range to pick up. So he's got max mobility. But do you have something else you'd want to call out, Simon?
Oh no, I think that would probably be my guess. Either Juggernaut or Rogue.
Oh, okay. I was thinking Xavier as well to maybe have mental suggestion online because he doesn't have a power on Charles.
I think that early on you want to go for builders, especially if you can get roots on webs early on. It's where it makes a bigger difference. But here it looks like he's kind of too far to pick up the senator, so maybe he's just gonna.
You've dropped out of Discord.
Oh, looks like they have a technical issue. Yep.
Well, he also doesn't have the power right now to pick up a senator, but he could place after the attack and go onto that back senator.
he has first class, so normally if
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
But he looks like he's a little out.
Yeah,
I
maybe
feel
the
like-
plan was never to pick that one up, though. Maybe the
Yeah,
plan
that's
is...
what
I'm
I'm
going to
thinking.
assume that you attack Black Cat, grab that senator, like you said. Oh, no, if you
Yep.
attack Black Cat, you can't pick that senator up and then get onto the Extremis console, though.
Yeah,
Oh, we could pick that senator up and then just maybe
If he was
teleport away,
close.
depending on how much damage he does.
I mean, he could teleport to the piece of cargo, sure, but like I want to be greedy, and I would have wanted to pick that senator up, attack Black Cat, and then end up on the side Extremis console. I know Simon is also
Yeah.
greedy and would want to do the same thing.
yeah, yeah. That would definitely be my line. Like, as if you squeeze in 1 damage, you get to make it to the extra MS console for sure. I think with the range 2 plus the base, he already makes it. But that's a tight fit. I'd rather have the margin of maneuver if I can help it. But I think that's kind of one of the things that that can catch people off guard when they're playing against X-Men for the first time. Like, you can play the scenario very, very aggressively and try to go for like super far points.
Mhm.
And if you don't know what to expect, you can really be caught off guard by it.
Okay, so he's dropping down Xavier.
Yep.
Oh, I don't dislike it. Xavier being able to pick up either Senator and double tap. I really don't dislike it. It also makes it awkward for Nick to be able to pick up his own Senator.
I was gonna say, I was also thinking maybe there's a body block coming in with Juggernaut at some point.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's a pretty clever, like, here Rogue is right beside Black Cat with no power for mutant absorption, which is
Oh, actually, hold
Black
on.
Cat.
Juggernaut can throw the size 4 into Black Cat, and she won't have power to brace.
That's true.
Oh.
No, so here we are seeing Nightcrawler into Black Cat.
Oh, okay. Well, now she should if he gets a damage through.
Oh, 3 is a strong start, and
She's
maybe
blocking 1 so far.
she's going to be taking at least 1.
She's taking 2.
So-
Oh, right, rerolls because we're Web Warriors.
Warriors block 1.
This blocks 2,
but
takes 1.
She is outside. She is inside of 2, so no stun. Nope.
Saw him drop the stun token down.
Yeah. Yep.
They took it off.
Okay, so he's gonna place
That is
interact
kind
for free.
Yeah.
So how does that work with stagger?
Stagger says you.
It's your
at the
first action of the round, right?
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So he staggered. So his first action of the next round, he has to shake it.
Looks like they're measuring. They're trying to see if. I don't know if he's within 1 of that senator. I guess
Either.
it's hard to tell. I guess he
he
was.
I was saying he is. But yeah, I think here I would have gone for the greedier play, like put Nightcrawler close to your home senator, attack Black Cat.
100%. Yeah.
Hopefully get the stun, then by dealing a damage, you put yourself on the
He
extremis.
just paid 1.
Yeah.
Looks like he's
To
gonna
trigger
place.
Xavier's leadership.
Who did he pass the power to? Rogue. Okay,
Yeah,
so she's got mutant absorption online.
Just because Rogue probably has a better activation here, and by using either mutant absorption or her charge, she's going to be able to pass 1 to Juggernaut anyway.
Okay, so he's got stealth. He's gonna be hard to get at. He'll have cover, presumably. So not like in the worst spot, but like you said, I would rather have seen him grab that senator. But now he can mutant absorption Black Cat, probably get a
Yep.
couple more damage, drain her so she can't brace, let Juggernaut finish her with brace. He's got a strong opener here.
Yep. And I'm glad to be seeing Mass Transit in action. Like, it's a very hard card to wrap your head around, and I think having an experienced player like Theo here play it is definitely interesting.
I'm excited
Yeah,
we
I
get to
have him.
see different things in the cuts because a lot of times, right, we'll see a bunch of webs. Well, whatever the hotness is, we'll see a whole bunch of that. So it's cool seeing something that you rarely see, which is a mass transit opening.
Here
Ninjas
we
move
see
up.
and the ninjas picking up the senator.
No reason to pass back.
Nope. Like you're super fine with them scoring just a 1.
Oh,
So he's
he's
gonna pass it.
Oh wow! I am
Yeah.
really surprised.
yeah. I thought I thought he would leverage Widow to take the side D. Extreme.
Oh no! I see what he's doing. I think Widow is probably just going to take the home D,
Mm-hmm.
but you get Electra to move, attack, and spawn the grunts again.
Okay.
So it already puts them back into the field, and if you know Widow's going to take your home extremis, you're fine.
I don't think you can. Can you get to? I don't think you can get to a center in one move if you're. Well, definitely not when there's a size 4 there.
But she could very well attack Charles here and fish for it, but that'd be kind of creepy.
That's not what you do when you play Web Warriors. You go for the sure thing, Simon.
Yep, I know. He double moves and picks it up. One of the things I don't like here is that it puts her in a relatively vulnerable position right next to Charles.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Charles is about to say
Ooh,
dodge
roll
these
call.
mine bullets in a second.
That is not what I am expecting.
Yeah, I think I definitely would open up with a mutant absorption here.
Yeah.
Or charge into Electra. That's the other one I could see going. Because Electra's still relatively fragile. If you can take her off the board early and just go 5-5 in activations here, it might pay off in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that play. I'm greedy in that, like, I see a black cat and I see that I have the tools. Because the opportunities to get her where you've got the right power economy and the right damage in her, you mutant absorption her, you can remove that tool, and then you could go move and attack Electra or something like that, or move, pick up a center. I don't know, you have some options.
Yeah.
I would rather the center on one of my characters that isn't Charles.
I think it's a tough call to make because like charge isn't helping Rogue's mobility here, so like your only 2 real picks are Nightcrawler, which already has one, and Juggernaut. So I think Charles is probably your 3rd best pick, just because with the medium base, medium move, and semi long range attacks, he can probably just get going.
Okay, he's got lines of Charles but I wouldn't want to use Charles to attack Black Cat.
I think it's fine. Like,
Yeah,
you're
I don't think
obviously
it's bad.
supposed to be fishing for the roots to cripple her kit.
Something's happening.
Yep, I think we are seeing Xavier into cat. Yeah.
Okay.
And you still got 2 attacks, right?
Yeah, he picked up the center with her. With
There
him.
you go.
The
3
root.
with the roots already, so Black Hat block done, so looking really good so far. Takes
Lost
2
one.
net roots, so she's already down to 2, right?
Yeah,
And then Xavier still has another attack. And if you daze Black Hat here, you're a like very happy camper.
Sure. Then you just send your rogue after Electra.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd assume
like-
Nick's gonna hold.
Sure.
Well, if Nick commits Widow, then you could charge with Rogue and to attack Widow. But then again, she's got martial artists, so I might rather do the Montreal special and leverage that mutant absorption. I think
Thing is, also, if Xavier only deals 1 damage into Black Cat on the second attack, Juggernaut can just like bump her and
true.
finish it off. So another 3 success.
Okay, crit doesn't no pop in that.
Oh, is she gonna block everything?
That would be the Black Cat thing to do.
Yes,
Yes, she is. Crits for me, but not for thee.
Yep.
What a bitch.
uh, is there what's being? Is there a fallback being played?
Oh, I think that's what Nick is checking out. Fallback.
Gotta be careful though, right? Because she doesn't have wall crawler, so she can't go over the size 3.
Yeah, that is correct. Because it's an advanced, no, she can't climb.
Yeah.
So, and you'd have to measure the angle from Professor X. I really don't think she can get away from Rogue.
Yeah, I don't
no,
think so either.
Oh no. Yeah, I really hope Nick doesn't play the card, because I think that would be a mistake.
So, educate me here, Simon. So you're a what's the word I'm called? Not a judge. Well, it's a judge. You're a judge for the
their accusers.
accuser. That's the word I'm searching for.
Oh no, she is playing fallback.
If you saw him use like this incorrectly, would you step in and say something?
Oh, yeah.
What's the? So you said you would or you would not? Okay.
I
good.
would.
Oh yeah.
To prevent illegal plays.
Okay.
I'll jump in the chat for with the players real quick.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, we're gonna measure.
If he can't go over the terrain, I don't think he has a line to get out of there.
No, he does not. It's a shame, like to lose fallback, the power, and burn it. Oh, is he gonna let him take it back? That is very sportsmanlike. Because we had a very similar situation happen at ACO, and the player did not let the other guy take it back.
Yeah, here we are seeing very good sportsmanship from Theo, letting Nick walk back.
I was just saying the same exact situation happened at ACO, and the player didn't let the other person take it back. It was it was a timing thing of Thanos, like the punch, whatever, the damage before, the throw before, whatever. Mm-hmm. And then like 6 of us gave the dude so much crap for not letting him take it back. We're like, you played a new player. Like why did you do that?
Well, I can understand the rationale behind it, but I think as a sports person conducts, it's not what I would personally do. But different folks, different strokes, right?
That's the problem I always have. I'm too nice. I'm like, yeah, sure, take it back.
I mean, I would probably tell him before, like while he's measuring, hey man, you won't be able to do that.
Yeah, I do that. I definitely do that.
I guess it depends. If I was playing You Will, I would probably not say anything and then take the advantage.
See, and that's why I make you mad when we play.
You do.
Yeah, for me, I know personally my limit is when there are decision points being made. So like if, for instance, someone declares an attack into one of my characters, then I get to play Heroes for Hire or like Sacrifice, or if I have things I can do reactively to what my opponent is doing, and depending on what they're doing, that's for me the kind of corner case where I'm not as inclined to allow for takebacks, just because like 2 decisions have been taken, and because mine depends on the other player, like and
too much rewinding.
Yeah, and it's a perfect information game. Like what tactics card I have. So for me, that's my personal threshold. But like everyone has their own.
Yeah. Right. Notes taken for Salt City.
I'm usually very laid back on takebacks here. Like this is a perfect information game, right? There's nothing hidden. There's no shenanigans. So, putting Spectacular on the back point.
Okay. Yeah, he's probably gonna run Widow over to the right D.
She can't because she has a senator. So I think.
Oh, that's right.
Fucked up. Oh, it messed up. Sorry. Keep it PG.
I don't care. I say so much worse.
Now you effed up.
Whoa,
the classic. That's the Montreal special.
Yeah. But with Rogue,
Don't
oh
forget.
yeah, we see Xavier reroll here. Not converting, so dealing 2 damage into Rogue, which I think is like the kind of worst threshold
Did he pass
because now she
power to
has
someone? Was it the Juggernaut? I think he passed the power to
yeah,
Juggernaut.
because now she has like both charge and mutant absorption online, and I think that makes her a huge threat.
Yeah, 'cause
Yeah.
now you can mutant absorption, cat charge into Electra. All right.
I think you could charge into Spider Woman, be near the Hauler, or like charge into Black Cat near the Hauler,
Mm.
mutant absorption Electra, then hopefully throw the size 4. If you get just the 1 power on Black Cat.
Yep. Rogue do be scary like that.
Yeah, I mean, we could see a situation where Theo goes up 4-2 on extracts, potentially just from the pressure and the dazing.
Yeah, I'd be surprised, but honestly, a 3-3 split here I think is very feasible.
I think if
And
he gets a
because,
3-3 split, he'll be happy. But I
yeah,
think there's a potential for more because we still have a Juggernaut and we have a powered up Rogue. So Juggernaut will walk. He'll be at 4 power, so he can slide, and then potentially doing a damage to someone, and then 8. He's gonna get Black Cat, right?
I
You
think,
could
yeah.
spider. You could spider tracker,
yeah, if he's moving, yeah, for sure.
but Juggernaut will
Um,
still be able, should still be able to chase that down.
Yeah, because he's still gonna be able to slide. And as we
So
said, because she doesn't have wall crawler, she's not going to be able to go over that size 3.
okay, so now Theo's got to decide who he wants to go with right now. Simon, who would you go with in this situation, Juggernaut or Rogue?
I think Rogue, just
I
because
agree.
Juggernaut's probably your most impactful activation. So, like, my bet would be Rogue into either Electra or Black Cat, but most probably Electra.
Simon Schmidt asks in the chat, "Is Patry the type to tilt?"
Yes.
I was next to him at Everwinter. I don't remember who he played round 1, but I felt like a little, like a little something going on there. I was too locked into my game, but I saw like the facial. I wasn't as cool with Patry then as I am now. Otherwise, I would have asked him about it or gave him some crap.
I think, yeah, I think Patry got a lot better since he started because he hasn't been playing for that long, but he can really get wrapped up in his own head, and I think that's one of the things that can be really rough, especially when you're in like tough situations. Oh, here we're seeing. Oh, yeah, this
Mutant
looks
absorption.
This was the charge. Oh,
And I was is it? I was expecting mutant absorption here. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure
so
that's what it is.
that.
Did he pass
it
a power? He tapped something.
mutant absorption. So
Yeah.
just straight up move and superpower.
I'm just wondering who who did he give a power to? Was
Is it a May? It is a May. So if he forgets his leadership, hopefully-
Juggernaut? He gave it to Jugs.
So now
Was that
3.
3. So he took all the power away from Black Cat.
Womp womp.
Oh, I don't dislike it here. Just moving on the point and probably healing herself. This is not terrible.
It's conservative, but he should get the senator from Black Cat with Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Yep. And she is staying on 2 power thanks to first class here, which I like.
Oh, you know what? I forgot about that. That you can. I was just thinking about this like yesterday. That you know what? Next time I'm on Extremis with first class, I have to remember that I have a free interact on that.
Yep. So you can have a character heal another one. Like if you double up on one of the points and one of your character has taken damage, you can send a second character to just heal them for free.
So Schmidt, are you asking because you think that the opener from Theo is the kind of thing that might throw Nick off or tilt him because it's something he hasn't seen before? Or are you just asking if there's like a spike or something he's going to get tilted? Alright, so Patry's got Black Widow and Miles left.
Yeah.
Black Widow can't get to that top D, and I don't think neither can Miles, so actually
I think
Um,
you can start moving her towards the top D, just because you're already scoring your home one with Spectacular.
Yep.
So I think you just start rotating, and she's going to be able to score two. And with both Nightcrawler and Rogue being kind of far away, she's into relative safety. And she's not that threatened by Charles with 4 Mystic Defense, Stealth, and the Spider Reroll.
That throws me off every time that she has 4 Mystic Defense.
Yes, she does. Like most Russians in MCP.
Yeah.
I'd be a little nervous if I'm Theo that even though Nick won't score that top extremis this round, I think there's a scenario where he scores 3 of them next round by taking his home, the side, and then possibly sniping Wong with Electra. Something to look out for. I mean, Juggernaut can get anywhere, so maybe it's fine.
I don't think Electra's going to be able to snipe Wong just because he's hidden behind that size 4. And she's
yeah. You need to see him, huh?
And she's limited to 1 move with Senator. So.
Alright, Nick is looking to throw 4 dice into Charles. He won't be able to pay, so... But if you can get a wild in the 4, even though you won't get maybe any damage through, you might get the wild and get a damage through and some better positioning here.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what you're fishing for, and if you spike, you take it home.
Well, the other thing, too, is if he pushes Charles back, then Electra has more room to even bounce off of him next round. Okay, let's see. Do we see the wild?
Do we see the wilds? 2. So he's
got a crit coming in. Charles is blocking what we have so far. Alright, so Charles is safe.
Yep.
You miss all the shots you don't take. So.
Well, we saw a lot of 4 dicers and 5 dicers do some pretty disgusting damage in the last couple of weeks from Montreal.
Oh, we did.
Let's see.
Yeah, for the people who haven't, if you want to watch, we had a tournament against the Pork Roll crew against ours. It was super fun. And a very good lesson on why you shouldn't leave your characters on the mid line.
Do you think so? Spider Tracker costs power? I always forget.
Yes, it costs 2 power.
Okay, so he won't be able to escape.
Yeah, I don't dislike it. Here you get today's Black Cats. You move, you punch her.
Yeah, he doesn't have fallback online, so like you would expect to push the damage through. He has to remember to get the power on Juggernaut.
Yep. He also has access to at least 1 Xavier reroll. So that's 8 die with a reroll, only needing to push 1 to be able to slide and Dazer.
Only showing 4, which is fine. I mean, that's average.
Yeah, she's a gun.
Let's go. I don't want to root against Nick, but also I got to root for a Xavier player a little bit. I also like Juggernaut is my favorite model in all of MCP. Can't reroll versus Cat. Oh, shoot! Good call, Schmidt.
Oh, that's good call.
So now that you've got the Senator, you have access to 6 power. Where do you bother moving? I feel like I might want to slide in a particular direction just to pass power to somebody that could maybe use it better next round. But
I would cha slide over to the extremist and then just heal up Rogue.
I mean, Rogue's not in any danger though. So I don't. And then you're committing 3 characters to this one side. That seems like a mistake to me.
Yeah, I agree. And and with Nightcrawler staggered and Rogue.
Oh, he is staggered. That's correct.
Yeah, like your ability to pivot is not great, and if you're going down on scenario here, which is he is currently not very well worth mentioning. It's oh wait, never mind. I think I agree with Will. I think you go to the Extremis console and heal Rogue, just because Black Widow's inability to get to the top console means Theo is going to go up 5-4 this round.
Mm-hmm.
So this forces Patry to engage, actually. So I like the idea of healing Rogue here.
So I could see the healing Rogue being fine, but then you're putting 3 characters on this, I'm going to say southern point from my vantage point. You're leaving Wong somewhat alone. I mean, Professor Xavier can provide some chip damage or some damage in there and move people around, but
There's only one character that can actually threaten Wong, and it's Spider-Woman, because all of the others have senators. So, like, Miles maybe gets a 6-die attack, Spider-Woman gets a 5-die attack, and that's about it. And in between, like, unless your Wong just gets one shot through Xavier's reroll bubble, he can heal himself both on the console and with his superpower and call it a day.
So I would like Juggernaut going towards that point more if the terrain didn't make it difficult for him to pressure the Knicks home. Yeah, like I feel like I want to have Juggernaut in a position where he's got all this power that he could threaten any of the 3 points next round.
The thing I'm not...
I guess he's not doing anything with Juggernaut, though. He's just leaving him there.
Yeah, which is honestly where I would probably be at.
Yeah,
and Widow doing exactly what you called out before, Simon, just setting up for next round to score that point. He might have gotten a little greedy with Spectacular there, thinking... Actually, I think it's very greedy in hindsight, because he gave Rogue the power to do what she wanted to do, and then made it so that he couldn't rotate and take that top point, but that 1 point might not matter. Maybe he's setting up some scenario pressure or some attack pressure this round.
But here, like, Black Cat is flipped, Rogue's maybe within range 2 here. Probably, yeah.
I would assume Rogue is in range 2, right? Because wasn't she... oh, maybe she wasn't, yeah.
She moved after, but
if she's not. Now, I don't think she is.
Yeah,
Rogue has enough though to open up with a throw and like 2 attacks. I don't love that.
No, but I think the mutant absorption window is really good here.
Yeah.
And I think maybe even a Juggernaut spender to go for that full 10-die with the wild.
Yeah, you catch the wild, you get the extra damage for sure.
Yeah.
I like it.
Even if she spider trackers here, you still get to slide, because you're going to be a 9 power, you still get to slide spender and have power left. And if you can KO Black at top of round 2, I think you're in a great position.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what I would be looking for right now. I don't know who's your best option to start that. I mean, if you go with Rogue, you should be guaranteed to get some damage in there, or at least drain her of her power so she can't stagger. I mean, she's not going to stagger Nightcrawler. Staggering Juggernaut is wasteless. Yeah, because he's just going to slide, hand the power to somebody else, walk, attack. Maybe even walk, slide, attack. It's just not worth it.
Like, now she doesn't have line of sight on the Rogue, so like her 2 targets at the moment are Xavier and Juggernaut, which are like not great.
Yeah. So I mean, opening with Rogue takes away your 1 stagger opportunity, and she can also take the steal offline. I think I'd probably open up with Rogue personally.
I don't. Just because she can shut down another character, and if you can just KO her with Juggernaut here, you're fine.
I like Juggernaut with all that power, though, having options to pivot based and be more dynamic with how the round plays out, because Nightcrawler's not doing anything this round. Wong doesn't do anything in any game of MCP. So then you've got Rogue, who can only impact so much of the board. I mean, she has the charge online, but you and I are both team mutant absorption all day, every day.
Yeah.
So Juggernaut's the one model that can kind of get anywhere and be dynamic and react to what's happening on the board. But you're right. If you roll the dice and gamble, you could put yourself in a huge advantage point right now, taking out Cat.
Because for me, the thing is that because you're currently ahead on VP and positioning, like his characters are, I think, better positioned, and Theo's ability to consolidate on the side of the board is better than Nick's. And because Nick has to go after Theo here, I think it puts him in a better position to not need to be that like proactive and move all over. And having a window to just remove Black Hat from the game is really huge. Like, even if you don't get her, it forces an activation very early. And with Xavier and even a staggered Nightcrawler, you still have options here. One of the things also is that Wong could potentially move and remove that stagger from Nightcrawler. I think it's range 3, right?
I think he's thinking about something I was just considering, which is you could maybe mental suggestion Cat to move her long, which effectively staggers her. And then move Xavier into this like nest back here, where the web warriors are coming in and you're getting more attacks and more, potential throws or whatever. It's a really safe play.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad play. Like
Yeah, I agree.
Juggernaut is the highest risk, highest reward.
Yeah.
Xavier might be the safest play. Although if you could also just whiff mental suggestion because you don't get your crits or the modifications.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. It still kind of protects Xavier, so I don't dislike it here. But yeah, I think either Juggernaut or Xavier are the play. Looks like
Do we have clocks on? I don't see clocks.
no, we don't.
No.
Oh, they should have clocks. Oh well.
A lot of thinking happening here.
What's the benefit of being range 2 of Juggernaut? I think he's just trying to figure out Black Cat move steal, what she has access to. I mean, if she moves and steals, she doesn't have brace, and then I just throw a size 4 at her.
Yeah, I think he's considering playing Do You Know Who I Am? Or trying to displace her with mental suggestion.
I definitely would not use Do You Know Who I Am to displace in this matchup.
No. Oh, no.
No, you can't do that.
No.
Oh, you can't do that. Okay.
I think
he was measuring maybe for next round, or maybe measuring something with Wong. I mean, it's impossible to play an entire game of Senators and not double move while holding one at least once.
Yeah, true. I agree
It's like,
with that.
yeah, it's like the hammer tax. Okay, so we move. So at this point, you've got to commit to the mental suggestion.
Yeah.
Oh, did you roll and I just missed it?
Nope.
No, this is an old. Okay, that was the Juggernaut roll still there. Okay, so we're attacking.
Into Black Cat. Ooh, 4.
Okay.
Luckily, don't explode, but 4 makes it very likely for Black Cat to take a damage here. And yes, she does.
Nice.
Maybe even 2. Yep. 2 damage goes through.
Interesting.
Oh, he's kidnapping her.
Yeah, but why? I guess if you steal, you're not getting very far with it.
Well, kind of, because she still can place 2 with grappling hook.
Yeah.
And move again. And then that leaves her on no power for Rogue to move mutant absorption and get her.
I did not expect this. I was because she's out of. I was leaning more towards just effectively staggering her by moving her long away, but.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it here because if you're moving her long away, she can just double walk into secure and still score.
Sure.
And I think
yeah.
having her off the board eases a lot of the pressure Nick can put on.
Okay, so Nick's activating with her right away.
Yeah.
Which I think we all expected.
She's gonna be
Yeah.
dead.
I do like this from Nick. If we steal from Xavier, we move to Wong.
And then Wong gets to slap Black Cat.
Yep, steal, and then walk over to Wong.
Yeah.
Although, now that she doesn't have power, we can throw that size 4.
Yep, that is true.
Yeah, you're not, there's no way she can go to be away from the size 4 throw, bruh.
She could be on the barrels if she fails.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true. Look at me. Let me correct myself. Well played. All right.
Yep.
But I think Wong can actually move and just slap her, which I don't dislike.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And be on the point.
Sure.
You take your shots, right?
This is why I was saying before I do like Juggernaut being where he is, because he can pivot to either side. So he could just move. If he moves, she can't spider track her, so he can move, slide, punch. Theo passes.
Which I think is correct here. You really don't want to go now.
Ooh,
This
Spider-Woman.
forces Spider-Woman to go. She maybe doesn't even reach the point because of the terrain, but no, she was fine. Yeah, no, that's not the kind of tilt he is doing, Schmidt.
Yeah, it was,
He,
it was a little aggressive, Schmidt. Damn. Although Nick is the only member of your crew that travels and stuff that I have not played yet.
Patry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say at ACO, after he lost, he didn't say anything to me about dice in either game. Oh, that's not true. That's
Like,
not.
he
But he
talked.
wasn't upset about it after the after his loss to the Weapon X player. He wasn't like,
Yeah, we try to foster an environment where we try to like find things you could have done better or differently instead of trying to complain about dice. Just finding things that are actionable, right? Like things you could do differently or judgment calls you could have made.
Hmm.
Uh, and
Yeah, we try to do that as well.
like,
what was your takeaway after our game, Simon?
not overextend. Like
I still think
I
you should have been 6 wide against me. I think the 5 wide was the mistake.
I think I deployed poorly in our game, and that ended up punishing me a lot on the flank where you had your Logan, and I think I had two bad characters to go into him, and that was definitely a mistake. Like I think I was really dissatisfied when I was thinking over that game afterwards. I was really dissatisfied with how I deployed,
Yeah,
um,
I could see that.
and I think just having a better turn zero would have probably helped me a lot.
Nobility calls out he doesn't like Wong going to punch because then you're not leveraging that Xavier leadership.
You can still faithful assistant afterwards.
I don't know Nobility. Like, is someone here hungry for that extra power? I mean, I guess Rogue could use it so that he could have both charge and mutant absorption online, but
Yep. For me, is I'm going to punch Black Cat. You just then pass a power to Xavier, and like you've quote unquote generated two power because when Wong slaps, he has a gainer, so he just gets the second power to pass it.
oh, I
Yeah.
didn't realize that. I just assumed it because it's so rare that you see like those like quote unquote strike gainers. We have it on spectacular.
Yeah. He if he's on the point and within range two of Black Cat, he can definitely faithful assistant Xavier. Like it's range three.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about the ranges there. I know Nobility's calling that out. But it does look like he's considering Juggernaut there to go after Black Cat, which I don't mind it.
No,
Yeah.
it's like you can move probably slide or move slide spender and still try to get her through big volume of dice.
Yeah, the only thing I don't like about that is we don't have a do you know who I am to be able to get her. She'll be able to have the power once he punches. Presumably he'll get at least one damage through. He should be able to slide into her.
Yeah, I think here you slide then move to be able to like be in a better position to spender her.
Really, if he moves, slides, I would assume he'd break that size 2 there that she's standing on.
Yeah, I would think so.
I would assume so too, but like I don't hate clearing the way here.
I don't think I would go with Rogue.
I am quickly checking on the TG Lord versus Pastrami game, and looks like Montreal takes it home.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean, sorry for Johnny, but like, I'm very I always root for the Montreal guys when we're not playing you, and also like Spider Foes. Like, who doesn't want to see Spider Foes win?
Me.
Oh yeah, I dunked Will twice in the last week with Spider Foes.
Twice. Did
Yeah.
we play Spider-Man twice?
Yeah, sure did. We played.
I remember the first game. I was half asleep.
So what does
Well,
what does
Theo's being cautious and just trying to see what all of the spiders ranges are, but I think if you're moving Juggernaut back there, like what are you really afraid of? No one's
Yeah.
coming in and stealing your shit this round.
Foes. Nope, DeLuca saying foes own. Can't disagree. Like they probably, I think for me, they're tied with Convocation for like the affiliation that have the best golds in MCP.
Dude, every
Yeah.
time I play Electro, I've played him a couple times, and I've been playing him over Rhino for some testing stuff, just because like I know how good Rhino is. I don't need to play him.
Yeah.
Whoa, like it's reaching a point now where I'm like, I think I am reaching for Electro in more matchups than like it's not an obvious call to just always jam Rhino.
I agree. And honestly, playing a lot of CS has taught me that, like especially under MODOK where you're playing narrower maps, like you mostly play Rhino when you're on Bs or high scoring extracts and you need his mobility.
I'm
And
assuming a power is about to be passed to Rogue.
yeah, that's what I
Probably,
wrote.
I
Is
would
he
think.
either Rogue or Nightcrawler?
Nightcrawler.
Oh,
Okay.
Nightcrawler.
Well,
Just
is it
because-
Nightcrawler so he could teleport one then heal? I assume. Heal
Uh,
Rogue maybe.
Yeah, either that. I don't think that's what you would do. Like if you're moving on the point, I don't think you necessarily want to give him power. But I think if you want to play aggressively, give him the ability to teleport range 2, then strike, then be on the point. Late in the round has a very high potential.
Okay, I didn't catch. I don't think he added the power for the walk on Juggernaut.
I don't
Did you
think
guys
he
catch
did.
that?
Yeah, he did not.
He did not. That's a full 6 damage, and I think that.
That was just his builder though, so it wasn't the spender.
But it's.
But still enough to get her.
Is the slide name Adam May? Right. I'll call it out in chat.
So he's.
Yeah, there we go.
Someone correct me here. So it looks like he's gonna move it. Yeah, he moved it away from Cat. Is that just to make sure a spider doesn't pick it up? Like, oh, I guess because Juggernaut's not getting moved by anybody, so Wong can just double move, pick that center up, and be in a fairly safe position.
Yeah.
So then, how do you respond as the Webs player here? Like, you're in a little rough spot because you went ultra wide, and now you're not ultra wide anymore. You're both 5 wide. Theo still should still have prio, assuming that there's no other dazes this round, and he's got a slight scenario advantage because he's up on 1 VP. And it's unlikely he's going to lose either of those secures.
Yeah, I agree. It really puts Nick in a tough position here. Like, yeah, I think you have to go and be aggressive.
Yeah, you got to throw dice, and that's like what smart players, they know when they have to throw dice and just see what happens.
I think Nick played a little too cagey on the secure round 1.
Yeah.
And I think that is so far really hurting his round 2.
So do you go into Wong right now to try to prevent him from picking that center up?
Yeah, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Just because like you can reasonably expect to like deal a couple of damage, and she can still poison shock slow, poison shock stun.
Ooh, that's a good hit.
5, so he need the Xavier reroll in order to live, or that's just one down.
Looks like he's calling it out. I didn't see who he passes a power to.
He's back
Nightcrawler again. Okay.
Which I like. And this needs to convert, or Wong just days it.
Oh, good call. Nobility mentions he has Interrogate available to him as well.
Oh yeah, that is very true. That might just put him back in the game.
Yeah, so do you know who I am to get her out of Interrogate range then, just to save a VP?
I think you wait later in the round because she's still getting 4 power here, right? So yeah, I think I would still wait later in the round.
Xavier's dream, Schmidt calls out in the chat. I'm sure he's thinking about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Not on Wong here.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Well, I mean, if he double moves, who's threatening him though? If he dreams.
Right,
like you. You can spend 1 to heal a damage off the extremis, or not. It doesn't really matter. You double move. You score a VP. You prevent an interrogate VP. You prevent. I don't think it's a bad dream at all.
Yeah. The thing I don't like is that it forces
it's
power
used.
out of Rogue and or Nightcrawler. And for me, that's the biggest part because it will neuter their activation.
Yep, looks like he is spending power off a rogue and jugs.
So far reducing by 2, blocking 1, so he'd be taking 2. Yeah, Lucas. Why don't you ever ask the ability to come co-stream?
Because every time Lucas says, "Hey, who's available to commentate?" you jump right in there.
Duty is charged.
Simon's always got those notifications ready.
For Lucas, yes. He did give us a trophy, so can't complain.
Hey, I did create the Montreal commentary chat with all you guys, so to make sure that whenever I'm streaming, I could just hit up Canada and see which one of you is able to join.
That's fair.
I didn't catch. Did Wong heal before he moved, or
No.
no? Okay.
I think he did.
All right. So he picked up.
Oh,
so
yes, he did. Actually.
He's okay. Yeah, he's
He
healed.
picked up- oh no, he was blocking 1. Paid 1 with Juggernaut, 1 with Rogue for Xavier's Dream. Took
Okay.
2. Then move, got stunned before damage, went up to 2 power. Move, pick up the Senator, Fitful Assistant. Vishanti's blessing him, which allows him to pass a power to Xavier.
Yeah, nobility. Jeff or Toast was so disappointed he's not able to get his hands on any of those new models early, and he's got a tournament Saturday, so he's scheming, trying to figure out how to get his hands on those before that tournament, or he might just skip it entirely.
Yeah. Luckily, none of those models are in my list for the tournament Saturday.
Yeah, I've been taking random days off of work this summer, which I'm doing tomorrow, to just do a lot of hobbying and painting. It's been
Very
freaking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to do some painting tomorrow. I want to finish up Sandman before I go to London.
Nice.
Yeah,
I am on the opposite side of that spectrum. I throw money at the painting problem.
I do that too. I pay Will here to paint stuff for me, the stuff I really care about. Then we have another local Joe that I've been paying to handle some of the stuff I want painted ASAP, and better than the way I paint it.
That's fair.
Yeah, he does good work, but nobody outshines Will at least in the Northeast.
Yeah, he's a very good painter.
I appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Will got a little concerned last night because I took the Magneto he painted for me and I was ready to chuck that across the store. Instead, I just slammed it down. I got so mad that Magneto sucks. This character can't do any damage.
Don't get to see. This is why you are banned from playing Brotherhood for at least 30 days.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. I thought 2 7-die attacks with reroll all with my hammer would do some damage, but instead I rage quit round 2 last night.
Mike, I have an alternative for you. Did you try playing Hellfire Club?
You know, I'm trying to detox a little bit from Hellfire Club. I'm trying to do you a favor, Simon, and bring something fun to Salt City. My intention was either foes or maybe some Steve 1 stuff. So he moved Web Swung, and he looks like he's attacking Wong? Or am I...
Don't dislike it. I think I would have preferred him being able to stand on the point.
Oh, that's...
Oh, that looks like a very dead Wong.
Oh, wow.
And stunned this time, so he will... Xavier is too far for the reroll.
Not that it... Oh, that was a good block from Wong, too, but she's 6 plus the throw. I see Dan was there to witness my absolute meltdown last night about Magneto. Yeah. I mean, leveraged a lot of F-bombs. I think I sat outside, and to be clear, in New York, New Jersey, it was like 100 and it was like 90-something degrees with crazy humidity, and I sat outside like in the sauna just stewing. Magneto sucks. So he won't be able to pick up the Senator. So he ditched it I don't know if anyone's gonna be able to pick that up this round.
I don't think either. I think, I don't think Rogue could. That's probably
Not uncommon to just have Senators on the ground on Senators, so.
Yeah.
Lucas is asking about the Rochester event in September. I don't know if that's on your radar, Simon, but Ben's been talking about it.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't attend, because I personally don't own a car, and the two people of our groups that travel who have car are unavailable there. So it is a no-go for us.
Right now, I'm like 50-50 on that event because I want some blue dice.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Lucas, the fact that you're going does push me to try to get there a little bit more because I like playing. I guess you're not a new person. I've played you like 4 or 5 times now, but in person, that's the other thing, Lucas, is I don't trust that, and Ben's not listening to this game right now. I don't trust that word GT until I see it on AMG's website.
It's there.
Is it?
It is.
How? How is Rochester, New York hosting a GT?
That is an excellent question, and I don't know the answer to it.
Like,
You'd have to ask AMG for that.
I would struggle to find, 10 more cities less relevant than Rochester, New York. Well, I mean, formerly the home of Kodak cameras, and then nothing else.
We actually got one in Montreal on a very ambitious timescale. It is right the weekend after WTC.
And since we're talking about GTs, I am hosting a GT at PAX Unplugged this year. So
Very cool. So when is it? The PAX?
that is the first full weekend in December. I want to say it's December 6th, but I could be wrong. I'm checking the calendar right now.
So I just want to catch up with the game state of where we are, because we got a little off track, and mostly for myself to catch up to where we are. Miles did the dazing, and no one's activated or anything since then, right? Yeah.
No.
I think we are going to see our favorite type of activation, walk, mutant absorption.
Schmidt calls out that whoever wins this game, there'll be 5 different affiliations in the top 8, which, I mean, you love to see it.
Yeah, very cool.
I mean,
we have one repping Burlington, Ontario as well.
And yes, that is December 6th for PAX Unplugged. It's Friday.
all right, this beer is making me have to hit the bathroom, so this is why I get 2 commentators so that I can walk away and there'll still be friendly banter while I'm gone.
No, we're not talking. We're just going to do radio silence.
For the Montreal GT, we're hosting one the weekend of October 26th, 27th. It's going to be the St. Lawrence Open in our LGS, a super cool store, super cool event. If you can attend, I'd highly recommend it. It is super fun, and we are very nice people.
Nice. See what we got going on here. Why is it bannering Spider-Woman Wall? Spider-Woman already activated this round, correct? Yes.
I think he's looking at Do You Know Who I Am?
Oh, okay.
Get her off the point, get the secure.
And get rid of that interrogate option.
It's gone now because Wong has...
Oh, that's right. One left.
Xavier's Dream.
Yep.
But it still gives Theo the secure, which is kind of big because he is down 1 senator compared to Nick. So if he doesn't have at least parity on VPs here, it gives Nick an opportunity to come back up.
to Luca, I see your comment over there. 5 different Rhino shells. I feel the Foes player gets a pass. I don't want to hear anything. All right, he's affiliated.
And Criminals also. I don't know if Criminals in the top 5.
No, I don't believe so. I think there was one criminal player in the cuts, and he was a Shadowlands guy.
They went. I think there was more than one though.
Mike, I was about to say something positive about you too, but now you're rabble rousing in the chat. I don't know if I can allow it.
There are 2 CS players. There were 2 CS
was there?
players. Yeah, and they both went 0-1.
I was gonna say, Mike, that DeLuca has been on the Foes have a great matchup into Web's train for ever since the Foes came out. He's been really pushing that narrative, and granted, TG Lord was it's a single game, right? You can't draw too many conclusions, but the fact that he beat a great player like Johnny with Foes on stream, we've got the footage. Puts Put a feather in DeLuca's cap, calling it out.
A lot of very prominent UK players also have been on that train. I know Connor has been saying that one of his worst matchup was foes as a webs player, and he is one of the most accomplished UK webs players, so I am inclined to trust his judgment.
So one of the things that helps that with Ock is that he's bringing all pay to flips. If you're playing on pay to flips, the webs want to leverage tax in order to generate the power to play the pay to flip game. And if they're doing that, then they're giving you extra power. So it kind of feeds into Ock's plan. So it's pretty synergistic there. Everything I just said is none of that is my own original take, by the way. I stole that also from DeLuca on Discord or something. But it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, looks like we are seeing maybe a Do You Know Who I Am from Juggernaut?
So he can reposition her so that Rogue can...
Mutant Absorption, and then move back on the point. The other thing I like is that it gives the secure to Theo. Because now he is currently down one senator, so being able to get that secure and fight for parity, I think is solid.
Yeah, it's just spectacular on the back point.
Yep.
I don't... though Electra has not activated yet, so it's possible she moves to the back point, but then you're not leveraging those grunts that you have access to.
She has a senator anyway. She can't really get there.
Well, that's what I mean. So
Yeah.
you would want Spectacular to rotate and start applying pressure.
Yeah, that's why I think if you can do it, I would have Rogue, Mutant Absorption, Spectacular, just to make his life a lot more awkward. But it looks like a very tight fit.
Oof, that's close.
And I think she makes it, but it is very tight. And if she doesn't, like, she can always move back on the point, but then you're not feeling great about it.
Yeah. Oh, I think
yeah.
she makes it.
Nice. I'm going to assume... was that a charge? It looks like it was a charge.
Oh, I presume it's a move.
I see 2 power on her. Was she already at 2 power? Oh, she must have spent one to heal... No.
Nope.
Yeah, she had 3, and then she... I don't know.
She spent one for Xavier's Dream.
Oh, you're right.
That's right.
Looks like we're seeing maybe a spider tracker here. Which is kind of the same results if you're Theo here. Arguably even better, just because, like, Spectacular burns a card, and you get to keep your power, and just move back on the point, heal yourself for 1.
And if he does that, I guess with Nightcrawler you can move and get parried in that back point. I don't know if I love that. What's he doing here? Is this a mutant absorption or a charge? I'm going to assume a mutant absorption.
Yeah, I would assume too.
To deny... Yeah, I mean, that takes away a lot from Peter.
Yeah, we're not seeing...
Potentially. Right, I guess the dice have to behave,
power
too.
is good enough, and now she gets to move back on the point.
Oh, this brings you so much joy, Simon. I know how much you love move, mutant absorption, move away.
It is one of my favorite things.
I know you're just fucking giddy right now.
Yeah,
Giddy as a schoolgirl.
I have to repaint my rogue in the process of doing that.
Yeah, she's kind of hard to fit into X-Men. I think we all agree she's great with Charles. I mean, the synergies are tremendous there. She can really leverage... She has all cheap superpowers. She's able to use that effectively, consume and feed. I think
she's also a great Cyclops piece because she's probably the affiliated model that scales the best with extra power. Like, if you need a model to just fuel all your power towards, if you're playing Cyclops, she's probably your best affiliated choice.
My problem with that is, like, she doesn't... She deals damage, but, like, in the same way the Bullseye can, is that a lot of it's through superpowers, which isn't feeding back into Cyclops leadership, so that's why I don't love her there.
I think it's fine. Like, with X23 Domino, like, you have enough good opportunities to generate that power that you're not really hurting for that much more. But yeah, so far for me under Cyclops, like both Rogue and Apex Predator have been my go-to like big fours to fuel, and both have been very solid for different reasons.
So Nick has Electra. I guess what you do is you go with Electra. If your plan is to put her on the back point, you just do that now.
Yeah.
Force Theo to commit something with Nightcrawler, which I don't think you really do much with Nightcrawler, right? You're not going to go commit to that. You're not going to try to be too aggressive here.
No, I think you honestly just shake the stagger, move on the back extremis, and heal Rogue. Call it a day. Because Spectacular is not going to do much, and then you have a very strong activation going into next round with like either Xavier being able to double tap Spider Woman if Juggernaut throws her off the point. Yeah, so Spectacular is definitely not getting enough power to displace anyone because he has only gainers. I think
This is another. This is a different line too. Is he might be considering throwing Jessica, teleporting Nightcrawler, and getting an attack to stun her. I don't know if that's like a great line. I think it's something maybe he's looking at right now. And then you start whatever damage you get through. It just makes it easier for Xavier, Rogue, whoever to put her away next round.
Sure. I think not having Nightcrawler on the point is kind of greedy, but I can see where he's coming from.
Yeah, because Spider-Man can just push Rogue off the point potentially, if he can get the line of sight.
I think he can. Like, you move sideways and you're going to be able to hit him. Sure, he'll have cover, but at the end of the day, you're just looking for that wild. So, Mike, how am I feeling about Cyclops? I think he's the X-Men's second best leader and the best duel to go with Storm, but somehow he's the hardest leader to play correctly. And I think a lot of people have not great fundamentals when they're out checking for Cyclops pieces. Like, for me, he's really a leadership end model that just rewards having very solid fundamentals and is the most positioning critical leader of X-Men. So I think he's like somehow just a harder piece to master. But I think both as a model and a leader, he's super fine to good.
So he passed power to Professor X.
Yep.
It looks like he is gonna. Yeah, he's gonna do that.
Yeah.
So
and now, because this is the long move, you can actually put your range 3 out. And I think he's gonna get her.
yeah. So Simon, in response to your Cyclops talk, there was a Danger Room episode I listened to recently that was like 18 hours long, and during that, Deaton made an excellent point about I don't remember what character was that. If everyone doesn't know how to play the character right, maybe the character isn't that good. And I'm using that philosophy more now. So shout outs to Deaton for that. Because maybe the problem is not that Magneto's so hard to play. Maybe the problem is Magneto's just not good enough. Listen to me, AMG. Give me Magnetic Crush Spender.
Some characters, it is definitely true.
It all comes back to Magneto.
It sure does.
Not for everyone. Right. So Nightcrawler going to Spider-Woman. And you don't even get the place. You just like clap her, get the stun.
I think this is good too because now even if you do push Rogue off the point, like Nightcrawler still scores it. If you're displacing Rogue, you're just putting her towards Spider-Woman, which is a great target for an attack.
Yeah.
Am I crazy? I don't see dice. The dice rollers cleared? Did they roll? Did anything happen?
I think they're talking something out.
There's definitely dice in there, but I don't think they were rolled yet. I thought they were too. Into the game glitch.
Because he shook his stagger, he teleported, so he should be good. Oh, lag spike. Yeah, he does live in Australia. 3 coming in.
A spider probably ate his internet.
Okay.
She does have one reroll because of the leadership. I think he's going to wait to see if Xavier gives Nightcrawler rerolls, and I think at this point you fish for them.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
you know
whatever.
you're getting 1, if not 2 damage through.
If
Being
you
able to put bigger dent into her, I think, is really good here.
And then given that, who do you? I assume the play here then is next round you open up with someone to try to get rid of her. I'm assuming Charles.
That's what I would do too.
Charles can Charles reroll himself?
No.
No.
Sad.
So here she's taking 3, which puts a really big dent in her.
So
And
Charles did reroll, and he handed a power to. I'm guessing. I guess it was Nightcrawler. Maybe I didn't. So Nightcrawler did 3 damage, and he got 3 power. I didn't see a power passed to
he already passed 1 power to Xavier.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Look at Theo. See, he's not cheating like I would have.
Honestly, like both Xavier and Professor X, we really have to like think about remembering those leadership all the time. And once you get used to them, you kind of just feel the beat and it's fine. But otherwise, it's like kind of awkward when you first start picking them up.
I like this here. You go into Charles. You've got power to web swing and start pressuring a different point next round potentially. I think going towards Rogue and Nightcrawler is probably a mistake. I think maybe going down the center.
I agree. I think trying to go towards the Senator more where the action is probably better.
The immune absorption is huge, though. That's going to prevent him from like pushing a tie on that back point. Maybe he's going to try to see what he can measure out. Maybe he does get it. A little generous on the placement. Yeah, it looks like he might be able to get that. It's going to be tight.
It's a tough call. Because if he doesn't fit here and then I Juggernaut the point, it's going to really give him a hard time. Like they're going to have parity again going into the next round. But if he can actually jump into the point, he gets to get ahead on defense.
All right, Nick, what are you going to do? I mean, I don't know what your other lines are. I think you have to be aggressive and move towards the center, and I think some. Are these size 3s down here? So he can actually throw these. All 3 of these cargoes he can throw at Rogue.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, not all at the same time. He's not low tier 6 threat Magneto who could throw multiple items in a round, but
let it go, Mike.
It's just notable that Spider-Man can throw these. Although short might make it difficult to... Well, he won't have the power for it this round anyway, but... I do wish they were on chess clocks, though.
Which they should have been, but are currently not. And
yeah,
technically
purely for selfish purposes.
Just jump in there and say you guys got 10 minutes left.
See, Nick's not sure what to do because he's used to just double moving to a point and scoring it. But now you're a Web Warrior player, you got to start throwing in some dice. He's confused.
As much as I like webs, it's just not an affiliation that meshes with me yet.
Yeah, because you like to unga bunga.
I do like the unga bunga. Let me throw them dice. Got pretty dice.
You could just roll them defensively and re-roll them. Which the
Oh,
Web Warrior dice and Baron of Dice I am not a fan of.
The red and blue ones, yeah.
Yeah, those are, I call those the Helen Keller dice. It's how they make me feel when I Look at those things. I picked up the Akfos dice when I was at ACO,
Yeah.
and the new Daredevil dice, which are sweet. I don't even play Defenders, but they just
Me
look
neither,
so
but
cool.
I
I
bought
wanted
them.
them.
I bought them for a second set. Yeah, I love those dice.
Oh yeah, you know what?
Webbing into Nightcrawler.
Yeah, Nightcrawler not within one of terrain piece to have that stealth. Do we get another Montreal special?
We're gonna see.
Sometimes impact webbing is the most devastating.
It's true. If he does push Nightcrawler, then he can still tie this point, which is a line that I totally just didn't call out before. That was a
Get
mistake.
the push.
Yep. So it looks like he'll be able to tie that back point.
Yeah.
Or side point.
Which is really big because it actually puts him ahead going into next round. But I think still with Theo having the ability to just daze Jessica mostly reliably with Xavier, you still are pretty advantaged.
I mean, Nightcrawler having 5 power on him means that he can, despite getting displaced, has a really relevant activation next round.
Yep, he's gonna go wherever he wants.
I love this character. He's so fun.
I know.
Yeah.
I agree. He's honestly like one of my favorite designs.
I have him in my webs list. I wanted to put him in my X-Force list, but he didn't quite fit the mold.
He really feels like Nightcrawler.
Yeah. Yeah, they
I do wish he came with a third sword to hold in his tail, though.
You say that, but like, luckily enough for like Nick Patry and another of my locals, I didn't put my swords on my Nightcrawler, so
Nice.
both of them got their third extra sword.
I also
Nice.
did not go with the swords.
Oh, I did. I did double swords.
All right, we are now heading into round 3.
So I guess we're expecting an Xavier opening here.
Into Spider-Woman, yeah.
Yeah, which means that Juggernaut is going to have to do some work into Miles, which is totally reasonable.
And I think it's not terrible. Like, even if Miles steals Juggernaut's point, he can just grab the one near Wong or chase someone else. So, oh, I don't dislike this line. Like, trying to fish for the mental suggestion on Miles to displace him, I don't dislike. But with cover and a reroll, it's still kind of hard. But not contesting a point or holding an extract means Miles is subjected to be skull locked.
Yeah, I guess because if you daze Spider-Woman, then Spectacular can just go pick up that extract. But then he's in danger of getting Nightcrawler to Rogue. I don't know. I think I would probably go into Jessica.
Yeah, I think I would have Xavier go into Jessica.
4 damage off 2 6-die attacks is far from guaranteed.
3 damage.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
3 damage. You're right. You're right.
3 damage on 2 5-die attack is fine. Like, I'd still go for the builders just to be able to generate power. And she has just a 1 reroll. Like, she doesn't have martial artist. She doesn't have any of her remaining defensive tech.
I guess she could fall back into. Could she fall back into into stealth range?
Yeah, I think she could. So here, maybe doing a mental suggestion first would be reasonable.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't even considering fallback, because I was thinking mental suggestion, just doing it. I mean, I know you don't have the power there, but you have 4 characters with superpowers to get Xavier back online.
Yeah.
The other thing I could very reasonably see is Nightcrawler going into Spider-Woman. You just blip within range 3, give a power, attack her, and because fallback is before damage, but Nightcrawler's buff of smoke is after damage, you're still going to be able to be within attack range of her, even if she falls back.
Yeah, we're playing.
Oh, we're seeing
all Mass Menace being played. Yep. I don't know if he was signaling who was playing it.
Looks like Jessica's playing it. I think this is a solid placement here, and I think Miles can very well place one in.
Mm-hmm.
Card. So what happens if you are within range of two different cameras? I guess it's just
Just get the one power.
use one power. Okay.
Yeah, it's just one power.
Because the trigger says while you're within 3 of a camera. Doesn't specify the
Which,
amount of
yeah.
camera condition is as long as you're within 3 of one of them. Fun interaction about Masked Menace. If you are playing the Webs Mirror and one of the players plays Masked Menace and the other plays it after, the cameras count for both players. Because it doesn't specify an allied camera token.
I feel like there's other interactions in the game that are similar to that. I can't think of them off the top of my head.
Looks like it's kosher.
This is how you get the infinite Nightcrawler spender.
Very true.
That's why he's in my webs.
That's fair. Honestly, like the spender feels kind of like a Yahtzee. So like when you get it, you're glad, but you're not expecting it. It's still a very inexpensive spender for the amount of dice he gets to throw. I think for me, the one thing that irks me on Nightcrawler's card is the guaranteed stun on the builder, which is really, really scary. Even if it's after damage, like the high of a floor makes him a very solid and disruptive model, in addition to just having one of the best mobility in the game.
Yeah, I was really scared of that. I thought it was busted when they first revealed him. We're just not seeing... Can we check line of sight rules? Simon, you want to get in there and accuse?
I'm gonna jump. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was really busted, and I was expecting him to be in way more places, and it just didn't kind of pan out that way.
He's going to be one of those models that shows up like 6 months down the line.
I guess they have agreed that Xavier has or has not line of sight on Miles. So I guess he's going to go into Miles.
So I would presume. So their question was, for line of sight, does the line of sight have to be drawn from the center of the base or any part of the base? And it is any part of the base.
Oh, excuse me. Hitting my bedtime.
It is getting on the late side for us folks waking up at 5 a.m.
Not me tomorrow, although I'm getting up early. One, to get my kid ready for school, but two, to spray prime before it is 9,000 degrees. Although I think anytime after 6 a.m. it's going to be too muggy, probably.
Yeah, it's going to be real moist outside.
I'm gonna chance it. I 3D printed some models at work recently, and I want to stuff that I got an X-Men 97 Storm from C27, their Patreon. Yeah, I subscribed for this month just because they have Sentinel Terrain, which I want to get my hands on.
Yeah,
then I got a few more things.
I'm currently 3D printing a Deadpool Void board right now. So.
All right, Theo, we've got our line of sight, buddy. So what are we going to do with it? Are we going to attack Miles?
Get him.
I can't tell if a conversation is occurring. It's a little subtle dance between the red hand and the blue hand happening.
I assume there's cursing. But they're Canadians, they're probably
not. Theo is not Canadian. He is Australian.
Oh, okay. Well, then he's cursing. Nick isn't. We've all seen The Boys.
Yeah, so I'm not a huge fan of the line of going into Miles here, especially since he's already kind of full of power. And with 3 dice, 1 reroll, and cover, he's pretty unlikely to be displaced by mental suggestion. And being able to steal activations on Masked Menace turn, I think is really big money if you're Theo.
Yeah, I'm more scared of Spider-Woman. She's got displacement. She's got steal. She's got interrogate. I'd rather get rid of her, which is a little bit easier with Professor X, and I like Juggernaut into Miles just fine.
I like the probable worst that Miles can do is just KO Wong, and it's not that bad. You're losing Wong, so you're losing like half a threat.
Yeah, good. I agree with that.
Jeff doesn't, but we both know he's wrong.
It's true. So I mean, mathematically, you've beaten Jeff every time. Oh no, Jeff got you in the TTS League a few seasons ago.
Yeah.
Damn it, Simon! I was going to say that you've never lost to Jeff.
No, but I am up on Jeff. Yeah, my only current flawless winning streak against Pork Roll is against Joe Pape.
That was a crushing defeat at ACO. Oh man.
Oh yeah, it was real rough.
That what was he up 15-9? And then you stopped him from scoring.
Yeah, I let him score 0, got up to 14, then closed out the game.
Oof.
This is not the first time I've done that to him. I think it was at ACO 2 years prior. I did the same thing. Like he was up something like 14-8, and let him score 1, then scored out.
Well, that's what people do to Kingpin, right? Kingpin gets a lead, and then he loses some gas later in the game.
Yeah.
My problem with Kingpin is I always want to play him because he looks cool. I like his model. I like the color I painted mine. But there's no like round 1 shenanigans. I mean, I guess double moving to a point is like and counting as 2 is a pseudo shenanigan, but it's not broken enough for me.
That's fair. For me, if you like slaps,
sounds like a you problem.
More of a Will or Ben playing style, I really love him as a character under MODOK too. Just because giving him dice fixing both offensively and defensively means a lot of his kit is online faster. And he doesn't mind as much being displaced when you have the power to do your spender or like have access to a lot more of your kit. And he's a solid brawler when he's not your leader. Like when you're playing on intrusions or even deadly meteors. When he gets to punch twice, he does a very good job.
So we are still. Oh, something's happening! Yay! We did it, team. Into who?
Someone, and it is not looking good. Someone who blocks it.
Oof.
And he is going to play a fallback.
Yep. Get out of range.
That's pretty much the worst case scenario there.
Yeah, I think it's the best case scenario for Nick and the worst for Theo. Because you are also not getting power from Masked Menace. Or are you? I think you need to deal damage, right?
Well,
deal damage.
Masked Menace is just if your superpowers or anytime you do damage, whether it's through a superpower or an attack, your webs get but it's not a defensive thing, so he wouldn't have gotten it anyway.
Oh, that's true.
So then I guess with Xavier, you use your second action to go into Miles and try to displace him, I guess? It's not really...
Point, actually.
Move to a point?
Yeah, I think if you can get to the point near Rogue, that's what I would attempt, but you might be too far.
I don't think he's going to make that. No.
With a medium base, maybe, honestly.
I wish I could pop out tools without them seeing it. But then I guess that would make it mess.
We should ask Carl for that, but that's probably
hard. We need the John Madden scribbles.
All right. It looks like he's going to do what you suggested.
And I think he's making it. There you go.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess I was wrong.
Congrats. But honestly, like having played that affiliation a lot, you get the eye for it.
I think it's also. I'm not trying to move my camera too much, or the angle I'm at.
Which I do have the luxury of being able to do.
Hmm.
No, I don't like having Spider-Woman run in the corner here.
Yeah.
Um,
Hmm.
it's a
I
tough.
kind of like her
Yeah,
just going into Wong.
yeah, same. Like you do your
Spender,
spender
yeah.
and try to just to get rid of him because removing a body here is really big.
Yeah, I think this round is it's gonna be really important. What happens with Miles? Is Miles able to get that senator and survive?
I think he
Rogue and
does.
Nightcrawler are not in a position to go after Spider-Woman, so
Yeah.
they're
Nightcrawler is, but
yeah. When after she presumably moves here?
yeah, like you can move teleport range 3 and then you get to punch her.
Yeah. I mean, it's asking for a lot to get 3 damage through on a 5 die attack with no rerolls. He might be able to stay within 4 of Xavier for a reroll. It's not
If
like it's
not,
not impossible, but it's not
Juggernaut can probably punch her.
right.
So
Then like I said though, then it leaves Miles open to just take a senator and maybe get to a point or whatever. It's just it's a not a great spot for Theo to be in, I think.
yeah, I
Well,
agree.
maybe Wong will just tank this and then clap her back.
Maybe.
That's not that strong of a
Yeah.
hit. So like Wong is gonna take it like a champ.
Notable, I guess, that he did the builder, not the spender.
Yeah. And I'm not sure why, but it is a valid choice.
The spender only moves if the opponent is poisoned, right? Yeah. Hmm. Is he considering? Is he thinking about all webbed up right here?
I hope not, because I don't think that's a great plan, but it is a plan.
Because you're not going to go into Juggernaut and attack him. Presumably, whenever Miles' activation comes around, you try to eliminate Wong, pick up a center, and hope to survive. I guess.
Yeah, that would be my guess. I
Sounds
think
about right.
he's looking at like jumping into the points. That's probably why he didn't do the.
Can she glide twice?
No, did she glide? I think she only moved. No,
No, I meant like I was wondering if she could glide now twice to get to
No,
the
it's
point.
just one.
no.
You only
That's
land
like
once.
one per turn. Yeah, with Grace still up, I don't think I would be. And do you know who I am already gone? I don't think like forcing yourself to be on the supply bucket is necessary, but
I think what I might go with here, if I'm Theo, is go with Juggernaut and remove Miles if I can. Because that would be a
hard.
major.
It's a tall order.
It is, but you can Spender?
Yeah, you can move. Can you move? You can't even move. You just have to spender, because if you move, he can spider tracker away and kind of fuck you over if he goes behind the hauler, and it
True.
still leaves them with enough power to web swing after that.
Hmm.
We see a glide here, probably just to protect from the slide, but he can definitely move and slide there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be able to move. Yeah, but then he's not getting back to that point.
That's fair.
Because with Theo, like, I mean, do you expect your Wong to live through?
I wouldn't. I think you kind of leave the flank next to Miles alone for now, and you go into spectacular.
Do you start? I guess you go with Rogue there to do that. You can mute absorption to get some free damage. Oh, you know he doesn't have the power.
No, but I still think you can double tap reasonably and then go for mutant absorption. That was the other thing I was kind of expecting to see if Medium move. Oh, after the glide, I don't think he makes it. Yeah, not at all. Yeah, he is not making that.
I mean, you've got 6 power Nightcrawler. You could just slot machine it on Spectacular. I don't love that play, but if that's the only thing
Honestly,
you can do to affect the board.
definitely an okay play, but I still prefer at this point Rogue going into it. Just because Nightcrawler's mobility probably allows him to just tie another secure somewhere else on the board. Like kind of where Elektra is after she's gone.
Yeah, because right now Spectacular could displace both of those characters that are on that point and score it.
Yeah. So
Just
that's why I think I'd definitely go into Spectacular with Rogue.
Spectacular does have no damage on him, and she's only throwing 5 dice though.
Yeah, but like even if you don't deal damage, you still have the sap, you still have mutant absorption afterwards. So like the odds of you being able to mutant absorption him are pretty high. Yeah, I think this really shows why the TTS cuts have clocks. Because if the clocks had been on for this game, both players' time would have been pretty close to running out.
Yeah, it's yeah.
I think I'll go raw. Tough call to make.
Hmm. Sometimes the length of time in between anything happening makes me forget whose turn it even is.
Yep, but currently it is.
I'm not even trying to be funny or I just literally
No, like,
forgetting because then we start talking about something else in the 4 minute gap or 5 minute gap between something happening.
so we see Wong move, trying to get cover, picking up the cycle.
Oh, that's pretty. It's a size 2 piece
Yeah,
of
so it's
terrain.
just get cover.
Yeah.
The one important thing I think is that it stops Wong from being able to be thrown into something.
Yeah. Does he clear? No, he won't be able to clear with the place. Not that I think you really want to.
No,
Uh,
but I
but but
think
honestly, staying on that extremis point with Miles doesn't get you a lot. It doesn't
yeah, I
get you
agree.
anything actually. So I would just abandon it. Go after Wong there. Position in such a way that can you? I wonder if you can get there with a medium move. Oh, I see. He's trying to get that extra power.
Yeah.
I guess the idea too is if he gets the extra power from Mass Menace, he can potentially, even if if he low rolls it, he's got power for Spider Tracker at some point potentially.
That's
I don't
fair.
think you need to be too. I don't think you need to be too greedy though and stay within 3 of the Mass Menace.
Well, it's a nice upside, but I think like not great positioning. Like I think you might as well just prefer going into um, Wong and denying him the cover because it makes him a lot more likely um, to survive if he has cover.
Yeah, I think I would just move Miles range 3 to maybe avoid the cover.
Yeah, because
Just
as long as
swing.
you're within range 2, you're denying cover, right? So you can move far away from Juggernaut, double tap Wong, probably get him, and then be fine.
Hmm. Yeah, I think Nick is just trying to be a little greedy here and
I
just
agree.
maximize.
That's very liable to punish him.
But I don't even know what is the extra power going to get you? You know, like why do you need to be within 3 of that mass menace?
Yeah, because
Uh,
if your goal is to just KO Wong,
you're going to get
uh,
plenty of power.
yeah,
You'll have the power to then spider tracker if that's what you're aiming
yeah,
for
Wong
there.
is definitely not a tanky character, so like you're very good to go here.
Will just messaged me. He is falling asleep, so
That's
he ducked out. He said the way these guys are going, it's going to be another hour. He's got
Yeah.
work. I don't have work in the morning.
I do when I am waking up at 5 a.m.
Yeah. Listen, if you got a
But
duck,
I am blessed with no children, which Will isn't. So I understand.
his kids are adults.
Ish. Like he still has like teens, right?
No, his kids are like college
They're all
age. Yeah,
adults.
yeah, yeah.
Damn. All right, never mind then.
Yeah, he's just a weenie.
All right, we are seeing, I think, the correct line of play.
Yes,
So
we got there eventually. I'm gonna zoom in. Yeah, so we really see that Miles on Wong action there. Nobility an hour might be optimistic.
I really hope not. So 3 damage, all goes through. Oh, I think the throw is almost. I think you have the angle to throw him into the barrels for the
Nope.
final
Yeah.
damage.
Nobility, if you're not doing anything and you want to hop into the chat with us and commentate, by all means. I'm a big fan of having a third person there, especially when we have to fill some time here and there. But don't feel pressured to do so.
But if you want to tag along, you are very welcome.
Yeah, you're on my list of like 5 or 6 people that are not part of our local meta. Oh, Jin. What's up, Jin?
Hey, Jen.
See, Jin goes strong this time of night. He doesn't go to sleep.
Yep. That's one of the very big benefits of our travel group, because everyone besides Gabe is actually a morning person. So
Yeah, that's
we
why
get-
Gabe and Rob hang out and they go do activities while we're in Vegas.
until very late.
The rest of us were in bed.
Yeah, and like I'm not that big of a morning person, but I'm usually up at like on weekends 7:30 tops. So like we get to go grab an early breakfast and just get on the road a lot earlier if we can when we're traveling. So that's always nice, like to get home at a reasonable hour. See, I think he's putting too much respect into Juggernaut here. Like he's really not threatening Miles that much, and by putting Miles so far away, you're hurting his ability to get back in the fight.
So, but what's the advantage of Miles staying anywhere near that point? Because
I think you just go more towards where Black Widow is, like go further up.
right, but if he stays on this back point, you're just asking Juggernaut to punch you and presumably displace you. So then you took damage just to end up also not scoring that point, right?
Here I agree. I think I would have gone like further between the crates, like you see where Black Widow is, and
Mm-hmm.
the crates that's just a little south of her. I think I would have gone there just because it gives Miles a better ability to pivot.
Okay, so now Theo, I think, just has to go into Gabe. Gabe, I saw you're hanging out with Rob in our other chat. It's adorable. I guess you could just go with Juggernaut here since the activation is like we know what Juggernaut's gonna do. He's gonna try to take the center away from.
You move Spender, Spider,
Yeah.
and try to get her, probably slide back on the point. Because you move, go up to 8 power, you Spender, you're down to 4, Bumper, then you can slide back onto the point and be on 1 power left.
Yeah, because he's got to be right. Does he have to be careful here? Where if he dazes, If he dazed Spectacular, would he lose Prio? I don't think so.
No. Will he?
Or
He
3
would.
activations.
He would lose Cryo if he
Yeah, so
did.
I think you want to then just be safe and go into Jessica. And besides, anyway, if the, you'd assume Spectacular is not going to daze anyone this round, just displace, and you really mess up that displacement by just having Rogue and Nightcrawler just go back to the point.
That's fair.
But still, he's not getting that Senator back from Jessica, I would assume, right? Juggernaut doesn't. Juggernaut has one,
Yeah.
so she drops it. I don't think Rogue maybe can double move and pick that up.
I don't think so.
A slide attack move, so you can't spider track her right away. Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's like a 2/5 die attacks or a 5 and a 7.
I think you do a 7.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
doing. He's looks like he's sliding first.
And I think that's fine. Like, you don't want her to spider track her. You bump her for
Yeah.
1. So 7 die attack only needs to deal 2 damage. Like, sure, she has martial artist, but you're still like in a position to go back on the point.
Hey guys,
Hey, what's up,
Hey.
Jin?
How you doing?
good.
Looks like he slid
Yeah, I think
again.
there's. Sliding again.
Moving in. And now for the
Oh,
spider
he
tracker,
moved. Oh, right. Now he's.
she kind of has nowhere to go.
Yeah.
Because now Juggernaut's gaining his 2 power.
Well, he's got to remember to actually add the power.
It
Did
is
he do it?
mandatory.
Oh, there it is. I could have sworn it said.
It is mandatory.
Yeah, well, he forgot it before, didn't he? Remember, I think it was like round 2. He forgot to add the power. Oh, you reminded him. Okay. I don't. What time is it in Australia right now? I'm gonna do the old.
It's 1 p.m.
Oh, so he's fresh as a daisy.
He is doing this in the middle of his workday.
Oh, so that should have been an incentive for him to get on the clock and finish the game faster.
Must be a slow day.
Yeah, because that extra power potentially very relevant.
Oh, I think I am seeing an interesting line here. If Rogue, maybe Rogue can double move on the southern point, and if Juggernaut can double move near Black Widow to slow down the scoring, that might be good for him. Because now it gives him the ability to potentially get all 3 secures.
Mm-hmm.
Or slide and punch Miles for 8.
Yeah, he's faded out the Spire Tracker, so everyone's pretty vulnerable to any Juggernaut attacks at this point.
Juggernaut just moved, so he spider trackered. Yeah, Juggernaut still has his bonus dice.
Yeah, so he hasn't laid into anybody yet, right? So it's could be very bad for somebody.
I feel like I would want to just get the deny the VP for sure, rather than taking a chance in the miles.
Oh yeah, giving power to Rogue, for leadership. Yeah,
Yeah.
when he slides. Yeah, we're seeing another slide, clearing terrain, and punching
Oh,
Miles.
okay.
Yep.
Which I kind of like. Just because Miles is a lot squishier to Juggernaut than Spider-Woman.
I guess he sets him up. He sets himself up for next round also to potentially get the days on Spider-Woman and have a big
And
swing.
if you fight here, you're pretty glad. Like, your 5 is pretty nice.
5 into. I guess he.
Oh.
Oh,
No,
reroll. Now he clicked that quick. That was a man who's like.
Oh, that is very big.
Oh wow.
That is a reverse Montreal special there.
Yeah. He used up all that karma last week.
Now this lets Juggernaut just double slide onto the back extremis again.
The real question I have is, do I get a second beer?
The real answer, is yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although the pace of play is starting to pick up here. Oh, this is extra spicy. Not only did you get the days, but you could push that VP there.
Yep. And you can still rotate with Rogue, as you mentioned earlier.
Yeah. Yeah,
Does he do a damage to Black Widow as well?
I don't think so.
I think you do. It's pretty
Yeah, I think the shadows are up maybe.
Yeah, the floating secure is kind of messing this all up here.
So I don't know if Schmidt is. Oh,
All right, I'm gonna jump in real quick.
I don't know if Schmidt's still in the chat, but the first question he had for us early on was, does Patry tilt? I think he might a little bit. I saw how quickly he pulled those dice out of that tray when he rolled no blocks the first time around.
Yeah. I think Nick is sometimes a little hard on himself, so that can come out in some different ways.
Oh, we all are. I don't know if you were listening before, Jim, but last night I took my Magneto and I slammed him down on the table pretty aggressively, and I fucking raged. The funniest thing was last night at game night.
Yeah.
I went on a fucking diatribe about how much Magneto sucks to Will and Dan and everybody else who wants to listen or didn't get an opportunity to not listen to me rant. And then I said, I'm not playing this fucking character anymore. And then this morning I wake up and I look at Longshanks and I'm the #1 Brotherhood player, and I was like, yeah, I fucking repped that Magneto, alright. I sure did.
So, are you done for Magneto for now?
Yeah, the only reason I was still grinding those games was to try to get to #1. So I've got the screenshot. So now I've been playing Spider Foes. It's super fun, and X-Men. Just having fun exploring things that are. I mean, X-Men I think are still really underexplored.
Yeah, I agree. I think people are definitely not putting. I don't want to say people aren't putting enough times into some affiliations, but sometimes it kind of feels like that.
I think too, though, like we might be a little. If I play Emma, you coward. So if Sif came out before the Salt City GT, which is not a GT, the Salt City tournament in August, I would love to play Sif Hellfire, just because Nick Patry and Simon hate Hellfire so much that the salt they'd be emanating off of me beating them with Hellfire would just give me so much life, Curtis. Because I will say, like, I was walking around ACL feeling great about myself because all of my opponents hated what I brought. And the fact that I was the only Hellfire player I got to walk around saying I was a snowflake, like, I just had the biggest shit grin on all weekend.
That's true. I can confirm.
Spectacular into Charles. I didn't see if Spectacular paid any power to those defenses. He did not, obviously.
No, I don't think
Charles
so.
was blocking like
an animal.
Yep. Yeah, he only had 1 power to start with. There's no way.
I didn't catch it. Yeah.
But does get to push him.
So here's the thing, though, right? We're displacing Xavier, but we're still never going to score that point unless we daze Rogue, which I think is unlikely. He can go. Yeah, he can score that Extremis console. Theo's original one. He's choosing not to. He's choosing violence.
Which I can respect.
I mean, you have to throw some dice right now.
That's a good hit. Good block.
Yeah, you know what? One good spike deserves another.
Yep. So blocking 3 DR1.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And
only...
he has an Xavier reroll if he wants it. Oh no, he does not. I'm sorry. Oh, did he use it?
He actually used it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yep, just paid for it.
Yep. So Rogue is taking 2 damage here, and that does put her at 5 power, which is a pretty dangerous amount of power for Rogue to be on, because it is exactly mutant absorption plus
throw. Yeah. Theo's, you know what? Theo's gotten a couple breaks his way, and he's capitalized it each time.
Because here, Rogue's line can be, double walk Rogue into the point near Electra Mutant Absorption through the size 4. And while that might not daze her, it is going to be real good. Oh, we are seeing the all webbed up come out.
Okay,
And I think
prevent the rotation.
Huh?
I think that's a mistake. Because now Spider-Man just gets dunked on by Rogue.
Yeah, I see what he's going for here. He's protecting Elektra and preventing Theo from scoring.
Because the thing is, now Rogue can just displace Spider-Man, right? Like, you can spend her, move him off the point.
Yeah, and then is she on the point? Yeah, she's on the point, so she could just, if not daze him, at least remove him, and then Nightcrawler could still, even moving short,
Walk,
score that.
teleport
Yeah.
3, and be on the point. So, I don't see it as accomplishing a lot. But I think
maybe he's trying to protect Elektra. I don't know. I don't think that gets you anything, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I think he was worried about the line that you called out, which was Rogue moving down towards Elektra, throwing Mutant Absorption and throw a size 4.
But with
Which
6 health, she's not going down.
that's what I was going to say. I wouldn't have expected it. I mean, you could high roll the Mutant Absorption, but I don't think you can play for that right now. I think that all webbed up was like your not get out of jail free card, but here's how I come back. Not that he's in the worst position, to be clear, but it's definitely swung more in Theo's favor.
We know if Nightcrawler has line of sight to a spectacular.
I don't think he does.
Okay.
I can give you the code Jin to join the game if you want.
Yeah, because if he did, there's definitely a way for him to rotate to that bottom point. But
Yeah, I gave you
Does
the
that seem
ultra
to be-
secret password if you want to use it, but don't
I
feel
think
pressured.
Nightcrawler, in any case, can go to the extremist near the blue truck. So, like, Rogue just needs to spend her Southern Hospitality.
Yep.
Try to remove him off the point, then you're good to go. So, like, you can Mutant Absorption, do a builder once, then do a spender to move him away, and still be fine. Or, like, if you want to clear the slow, you can just not do the builder. I think Theo is debating rotating here. Like,
Yeah,
if
I think it's a pretty obvious play though, right? Like you're gonna keep Rogue there. I guess the problem is Nightcrawler moving down. Even though he scores that Extremis console, he can't pick up any of those senators, and presumably you'd want to get someone over towards that side that could pick one up next round. Like that could be relevant. He's trying to see if Rogue can make it, but I don't think she does.
No, she's not. Not on 2 short moves.
Yeah, so maybe Nick's all webbed up wasn't as bad as we thought.
Because the thing for me is that if Theo gets to score all those 2 secures plus 2 senators while denying 1 secure to Nick, like, he's putting himself in a good position here.
Oh, I think he was a little creative right there with that short move. I think he jumped a little too far. Don't risk it, buddy. Take those VPs. Yeah, but Sam, I was saying before that X-Men are underexplored. There are, to people's credit, there's guys like Riddlesworth, who's like always on the Cyclops grind and trying to min-max that. And I think that's something that's true of a lot of affiliations. There's these groups of people that aren't in the TTS cuts or aren't just loud all the time, on podcasts that are doing some really interesting stuff. So, like, one thing I noticed recently was that there's a lot of chatter because Collar and Schmidt have been playing Midnight Suns and like, oh, Immortal Hulk is bad and you shouldn't do this and this is how you should play Midnight Suns. And I'm like, oh, well, our local Emil has been saying those things to us for like a year. Like, since Immortal Hulk came out, he was like, I don't like this character. I don't like how he fits in the Suns. And he liked, these other ways of playing that are starting to catch on now.
Yeah.
And here's this guy that people don't know about because he's not getting top 8s at some of the major tournaments or playing on TTS. But like, we've known locally that Midnight Suns without Immortal Hulk is probably the best way to play it. But now more communities, because we have people like Kohler and Schmidt that are more vocal about it, and then winning and doing well in bigger tournaments. So
And I think
Rogue
most communities have like these types of players.
looks
right?
like Rogue did her mutant absorption into Spectacular and
Ooh.
got a
That
big
was
hit
a
there.
mut-
Yeah. So not only
Whoa.
So yeah, I think here you like clear the slow, probably just spender him and try to get him there. So did he give a power for the leadership? Doesn't look like it.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
oh there you go. He's been pretty good about that today. I
Yeah.
didn't notice him miss any. The only mistakes he's made with that has been just unironically Juggernaut moving and not getting the power. He's really rolling the shit out of this dice, so this better be a big hit.
Doing a builder.
Good builder.
Oh, 3.
This is liable to do nothing. Yep, there you go. Blocked it.
Mm.
No power to gain.
That's okay though, because right, he's still got the guaranteed displacement right now on the spender.
Yeah, and that looks like what he's doing. And I think I like the line of play, like either clearing the slow or just do a builder to fish for power and or damage. Like here you get 3.
Ooh. Not a big hit, but like I said, he's gonna get the guaranteed VP either way.
Ooh, needs the blocks.
And like, yeah, he needs to block at least 2 if he doesn't want the.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
Oh no.
So now he's taking 1, which means even with the throw, he's going to be able to brace it.
Oh, he's
but
taking
that
2.
throw-
He's taking 2, yeah, sorry.
Oh yeah, sorry, that was a hit, not a. Yeah, so that just gets him.
So he'll score that point, and then presumably Nightcrawler goes down there, so he should score 4 this round to go to 12.
Oh, have Electra going to Juggernaut. I think that's very risky because if she's not doing damage, she's not going to be able to use Assassin Step.
Yeah.
Gives the advantage to Theo.
Yeah.
Also, it's like 5 Mystic Defense, right? With a damage reduction. I mean, that's a tall order, honestly.
It could be tilt, or it could just be him thinking that he doesn't have a lot of outs. Although I don't think he's in the worst position. I would have liked to have seen him keep all webbed up so that next round Miles could go into Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Agreed.
But yeah, this is at this point in this situation, this is the bed you've made. So now you have to figure out how to, because you'd assume Juggernaut can go and just get rid of Spider-Woman next round, or Widow and again deny VPs.
And that's a tough question.
But yeah. Nick's got extract steals on that side that maybe deny Juggernaut if he activates too early.
But that's the thing, right? With a Senator on the ground, the steals aren't with them already having Senators. They're not at their best.
Right, but they're still relevant in the same way that a throw is, right? Like a throw is way more powerful if you do it after they've already activated, so they can't score that VP. If you can get Juggernaut to drop his extract after he activates, that's a win. Because the other X-Men characters are out of position to be able to go pick a Senator up. It's just going to be Nightcrawler, who's already holding one.
Yeah.
Presumably Nightcrawler takes the original Home Extremis and then tries to daze Spider-Woman next round.
Yeah.
So then what would you do right here if you're Nick? Jin, you're a Webs player. Like, what's the out? What do you go with Elektra? Black Widow can't get to that bottom extremis, so she's just kind of stuck there.
Let's see. Is she definitely not?
Right? I don't. Can a long move?
Oh, no, you're right. It's because of the center. Yeah, that's right. So yeah, she's stuck there. So yeah, So the upside of actually making the attack with Electron and succeeding are big in a couple ways, right? Because you get to move further away from their threats for extract hunting, and you also get to win the Riot Sparks point, right? Because they're both healthy characters right now. Everybody's healthy. So, while I don't like it, the payoff is so good that if you're not risk averse, I would say that may not be bad. It looks like that's what he's going with.
That makes sense.
But the floor is you hold the extract, but you're now further away from the from Nightcrawler, from Xavier, from Rogue, so it's not terrible. Let's see, as far as scoring goes as well, let's see, you have 2 extracts on Zahorth? Is that how we pronounce his name, or?
Just call him Theo.
Theo? Okay, so Theo's side, we have 1 secure and 2 extracts.
So this does bring the grunts back, right?
Yes.
It does also bring the grunts back as well, and you want them so that they can
Pick up
do
some
more
extracts
stuff.
They can pick up extracts next round.
Block from Juggernaut, so unless that
Yeah,
turns into Piers, yeah, that's no damage coming in.
yeah, no, unfortunately.
So, no teleport.
Nope.
I mean, he sacrifices a VP, but it might get him a VP next round by having the grunts come in.
Yeah, which I don't dislike, but it's still not great.
And they get an attack right now, so maybe you get lucky, double wild, get a bleed on Juggernaut, which isn't huge, but it does tax his power economy a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not, like, particular hungry, and especially under Xavier, it's really not as bad.
That's true.
Yeah, all blocked.
Okay, so now you just rotate with Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
He doesn't have line of sight on Spectacular right now.
He's dazed.
Well, he's
Oh,
dazed, so
duh.
you wouldn't be able to use. Yeah.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would say, yeah, attack, teleport right, then you can still teleport again, and then move short, and you'd be able to get on to the point that's nearest to Theo.
Yeah, I mean, he'll get this one too. He'll double move short, place range 3, and be alright.
Here, I think
Yeah.
I would place 3 first, just
Yes.
because you want to check if you can get there after a full medium move, and try to clear the slow if you can help it. If not, you double walk. You teleport, then double walk.
Are we choosing not to go to the bottom? That's interesting.
Because now he's going 2-3 here, tying the top. So if Nightcrawler goes down, he'd be scoring 4 to Nick's 3. So this would tie them up again at 12.
Oh, can't double walk. He is holding a center.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's true.
So,
Good cap.
or so then maybe the place 3 shake move line is your best bet.
Yeah.
Man, Nobility is just always crushing it in the chat. Alright, while he's measuring all these out, I'm going to go to the bathroom again.
Sounds good. So, Simon, when did this game actually start?
9.
9 o'clock. Oh man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think after this round, I'm going to have to bow out because I do wake up at 5 to go to work, and it is getting late.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah,
I will.
We just forgot to put to remind the players to fire up the clock since it is TTS final. Normally, it should be on clocks, and they would be passed for both of them.
Yep. Agreed.
I don't know if you were playing at that time, but the reason they have clocks in the TTS finals is that because one game lasted for almost 5 hours.
Oh, yeah. No, you definitely don't want that.
And it was the season's final, so like it was the very last game that decided who was going to win it.
Yikes. No, yeah. You definitely need to give some sort of incentive because the thing is that people are watching that too, and you want to make sure that people aren't like just checked out mentally, right? At a certain point in the viewing. Is he trying to double walk?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Simon.
Got it.
Did I miss anything?
Almost a
Uh,
double walk.
Almost a double walk. Yep.
So he actually moved first, short move without clearing the slow, intending to double walk. So now he is
Ooh.
senator on the external console.
Mm.
Yep. Big boon for Nick there. In that case, for forgetting about that.
Yeah, because now he's actually gonna get ahead on VPs.
Yep.
Scoring 3 to Theo's 3, keeping the lead.
Yep. Yep. All right, you play all webbed up with the intention that hopefully your opponent forgets about the no double walk.
Yeah,
That's the big.
that was a solid. Well, you want all webbed up to score you a VP, and it essentially denied a VP. So I guess it's not a bad use of the card.
Yeah, worked out there.
Okay. I'm gonna be hitting the hay because it is getting very late for me. So I'll let you two be, and Nobility, if you want to join, you are very welcome. So,
All right, so we started with 3 commentators. Well, by the end of this, we'll just a
Probably
rotating
still
cast
have
of characters.
We're gonna ship up Theseus this whole cast here.
I don't
Thanks,
know.
Simon. Have a good one.
Mike on his own stream.
If
Let's
the
do
game
it.
goes another half hour, I'm going to join their chat and go to bed and tell them to.
Oh, good night, folks. It was very fun.
Good night.
They forgot about Widow's activation.
Yep.
Maybe she just stayed there.
No, they just forgot
doing
that
now.
she has to.
They said they're doing it now.
Okay. Setting up a rotation for next round potentially.
Yeah, she's not single moving, not with the truck.
I'm going to imagine that Patry is also probably struggling a bit.
It is also getting late for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See y'all.
See ya.
And that is that is one of the issues I've had in the past with some TTS games. I played in, I don't remember what league it was, but I had almost a 3-hour game with someone, and I told him like maybe 2 hours 15 minutes in, I'm like, dude, you gotta pick up this pace, man. I was like, I'll give you the win at some point. There was one season I did out west, which was way already veering towards my bedtime, and but back then my son was rough to get to sleep.
I see.
Now kid's in bed by 8:15, so it makes it much easier for me. I play in the central bracket.
Yep. That checks out pretty well.
Oh, you're out there in the Pacific bracket because you don't go to bed.
Yeah, it's a sickness. I understand what it is, Mike. You know, my body just does not take care of itself very well, so I'm just up late at night. It's
So-
interesting. I've had a lot of good games with the West Coast folks. It's been a good time.
Theo said his mouse stopped scrolling. It's not,
Awesome.
he can't move the camera around. Oh boy. I don't know what to tell him. I don't have advice for you. What do you? I don't know. Do you reload the mod? I mean, I guess. Gotta hit the trackpad. And he's on his work computer, so I don't. Maybe.
This is my boomer tech.
He may have pressed a. Yeah, that's. I'm thinking as well. There's some keys I have no idea which ones do it, but I've done that in the past myself where I couldn't move the camera, and then I've just hit every key until eventually the right one was pressed.
Theo has put on a blindfold. Now they've taken off the blindfold. Okay, we're just trying all the buttons. It looks like.
Yeah, he's doing my strat.
Yep.
Sure we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
This should be the last round, given that it's 12-11 and we've got 10 VPs on the board.
Yeah, unless there's some sort of freak accident happens and they just tie up again, this should definitely be the last round with the amount of points on the board.
Just gonna go ahead and copy and paste what Lucas said.
Thank you, Lucas.
I'm gonna ask a stupid question. Where are you doing this right clicking? Because when I right click, I don't Oh, maybe because I haven't done the thing.
Maybe just because it's players too versus like
Yeah,
spectators.
that's true.
So that could be also a thing.
I
Nice.
prefer to
Okay.
use the term voyeur, Lucas. I'm an MCP voyeur.
uh,
I have been really enjoying streaming and commentating the last couple weeks with the 5v5, and then I did some lunch meet stuff. I get to like
Yeah.
see some high level MCP without having to the stress of losing my 8th game in a row on Lucas's channel. Well, 7 games in a row streamed. One of those was PCN. So we had PCN breaking that up in the center there. Only 2 of those
It
were
definitely
Thanos games. Oh no, 3 Thanos games.
That's a lot of Thanos games, honestly. Too much. It's cool though, right? It gives you a new perspective on the matches, right? And like, you're now looking for things so actively, like trying to deliver the information to folks. So it's like a new like way to like view the game.
Yeah, the D. Geisman game I streamed the other day was really interesting for me to see because sometimes I panic a little bit too much about VP leads or maintaining parity, and he just didn't care. Like he was just constantly setting up his next round with his positioning and not worrying about.
Oh, that was the Defenders Midnight Suns game, right?
Yeah,
that was that was also very interesting to watch. Yeah,
I cut off there
Yeah,
because I
'cause,
just saw
like-
Curtis write in the chat. This isn't just the Xavier activation, which I'm not sure if he's suggesting Xavier goes or asking if Xavier's doing something or what, but looks like he's going to try to get rid of Jessica if he can.
Yep. So we do what, a 3 teleport, a move, and then we get there.
Yeah, I mean, I think you. No, Curtis is his he had a technical issue.
Oh,
Flip the model, Nick.
Nice.
Jeez. Oh boy.
only the best here.
I don't remember what was happening anymore. This is Theo's activation, right? So he powered up, so now he's
Yeah,
thinking
I
about what to
mean,
do. I don't know. At this point I'm probably gonna make bad decisions or call outs, but I feel like I would just try to get rid of Spider-Woman. I don't know. That's probably not right. Because then maybe Miles is able to just get rid of him.
I mean,
There's
Miles
a-
has
there's
to
a
make a choice between.
There's a check mark on Nightcrawler, but that shouldn't be.
Yeah. I mean, if he's going with Nightcrawler now, though, I guess the check mark's kind of inconsequential at this point.
Yeah. I don't know if you need to go with Nightcrawler first.
He's pretty safe. Yeah, I was more thinking. Well, I mean, besides Nightcrawler and Juggernaut, like I don't think anyone's affecting like this end of the board, like particularly well.
Rogue could open up with a mutant absorption punch in Spider-Man. I don't really love that line.
Yeah, but that would give Nick the chance to consolidate the extracts, and that will allow him to win the
Yeah.
game. Because if he picks up 4 extracts and keeps them relatively safe, that's GG, right? At that point.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that one of those characters goes down from Juggernaut, but it's not a guarantee. 'Cause he only gets 1 attack. Like he can overwhelm, but I mean, Black Widow can. What does she roll? 3? Is she 3 physical or 4?
3 physical. So 3 physical martial artist with a Spider-Man reroll. I mean, it's she could possibly, yeah.
I could still see her living through that. So
Yeah, if Juggernaut rolls just average dice, like I think she lives for the most part.
yeah, I think I would go with Nightcrawler first. Try to deny Jessica, make him drop the VP so that he can't consolidate all those extracts. If Spider-Man is able to daze Rogue, etc., I think you're fine with that because you could have Xavier who's not holding anything double move and score something
Yeah,
because he is
I think.
healthy.
Yeah. So Spider-Man, he's just gonna wait until one of the Professor X or Rogue goes, and then he can just go ahead and displace them, and that could be his VP denial. Then that's all he's probably gonna end up doing.
I think too, Theo
Um,
knows that Nick can score 4 and just win the game, so he's trying to figure out how he outscores him, and typically that's
yeah.
right by denying activations.
Yep.
Is that crawler still slowed? I don't know why he's using this short movement tool.
I think he is. Oh no,
Oh,
he
he was
shouldn't
shook.
be
He should have
anymore.
shook it before.
Yeah. So we'll see if he actually. Huh. Okay, so maybe this is a Chuck activation. Just move twice, set up an anchor point. Why is he going short?
I don't think he realizes he's not slow. Oh.
Uh, is that something? Well, because you can always downgrade right to a short tool. So technically, he is allowed to do that if he wants to.
Nobility. Although there's time to talk through every single character's possible lines and the time it takes to get an activation. Yeah,
Yep.
I don't want to be too rude because right they're willing to let us stream their game. And ultimately, right, it's about their experience, not ours.
Yeah. Yeah. We're just guests here, right?
But when we hit midnight, I might I might leave you on my stream, Jin.
Oh,
Shut it down for
jeez.
me.
If you're sleepy, man, we can just end it. I mean, like, you know,
No, I wouldn't do that.
I think like once the ooh, okay, so
Juggernaut.
it's a Juggernaut. Yep, he's going.
Is that a walk
Okay.
slide?
Uh,
I didn't catch if that was a walk or just a slide.
so given, I think it was just this. Let's see, did he spend any power? No power. So yeah, that's a walk, then a slide. It looks like.
Did he give himself the power for
Yep.
the walk?
I think he used it immediately to slide. That's what happened.
Okay. It's hard to tell because most of his previous
So,
walks he forgot to give himself power.
oh, cool. Yeah, no. I think because he slide because he did the 1 damage to Miles. So we're good here, I think.
Okay.
All right, now he's sliding. Wait.
That's the walk.
Oh, now that's the walk.
I'm
Okay, so
assuming he handed a power probably to Xavier. Or maybe, yeah, I think he handed a power to Xavier. Spendering, or is he sliding? Spend 3. Oh, spendering.
Yep.
Oh, needed to pay for slide. Okay.
Okay.
I lost track.
Damage.
I lost track of where we are. Juggernaut has ended up in a slightly different place than where he started, and how he got there was either through a walk and a slide, 2 walks, 2 slides, some combination of something happened. And now a punch.
Yep, so it must have been a slide, walk, and now we're doing a punch there.
Alright.
Okay. Come in with a normal punch, it looks like.
Just 3.
Ooh, doesn't look good. Miles should be able to live through this. Okay, that could be very, very bad for Theo.
I'm surprised he didn't spend her.
Yeah, me too. Maybe just didn't
probably
have
because he
the
doesn't have the power. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because what did he start the round on? Was it 5? I don't remember where he started the round on, but if your goal was to end up on that extremis and deny a VP, I would have done that through picking him up and dropping him just so he's at the same point.
Yeah.
Juggernaut
was only at 4. He's only at 4 power.
I see where the problem is there because then he can't he wouldn't have ended up on the point. He
Yikes.
wanted to get the
Okay.
one guaranteed damage.
Okay, so this sets up Miles to go and just force the drop in that case.
I think yeah.
Yep.
One of the problems with losing all of the commentators and the game being 4 hours is that I don't remember any of the early decisions I wanted to ask them about after the game.
That's true, yeah.
There was definitely 2 or 3 things early on. I was like, I want to ask him about that later.
I find that sometimes it is good to have a piece of paper and pencil, like, if there's a specific thing you want to just try to remember.
Yeah. Well, usually I rely on a Canadian to back me up on this. They're great for that.
And that's true.
If the quality of the stream dips, it's because I ran out of Canadians to jump into the chat.
Damn. All right. I see how it is. So, yeah, I think this puts Nick in a very good position right now. So we have the ninjas that can grab an extract, and they can just hold it. They can just walk, grab, and just run away at this point. Spider-Woman can just, try to get away as well. And yeah, and you can just swarm the Extremis Council here to just win it with Elektra and Black Widow. So I think Nick, if I'm not being too mature, he should have this game in the bag.
Oh, 100%, yeah. I think something like an hour and a half ago when we were on round 3, I was mentioning that at this point, if Juggernaut activated early and didn't daze someone, it was just setting up a steal, deny a VP, and put Nick in a commanding position. Yep, there's the steal.
Yep.
I don't even know if you needed to go with Miles right there. I actually probably would have gone with Jessica and rotated her away to a spot to keep her safe. Right? Because
I would agree, yeah.
I think it just might be Nick getting a little tired.
Yeah. I'm hoping that he also puts a heal onto let's see, Black Widow here. Yeah, because
I just don't
we
think
want her at
anyone.
full health.
I don't think anyone. I mean, Nightcrawler can place 3, move, and attack, but
yeah, I mean that could still potentially one-shot her. So
true. I'm trying to think of how Theo could stop him from scoring enough. I think it's just by dazing. Now, see, I think he's missing the line here. Like, Theo needs to go into Spider-Woman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to push the damage through anyway, it looks like. At least right now on Spectacular, who blocks it all.
Yep.
But yeah, I think you had to go with Nightcrawler there, deny VP. Rogue hopefully takes out Spectacular, which doesn't look like it's going to happen. And then Charles can do something of some sort. I guess it doesn't even matter because Nick should score. Even if you deny that VP, Nick should still score 4. Because he'll get his home extremis. He'll get... And then 3 VPs at worst from the extracts. So he should be good.
Yeah. And Rogue, it looks like Rogue is not finishing the job here on Spectacular, so he should be able to get that point from Rogue at this point.
Yeah, because even like the world's greatest the hell is it called? Mutant Absorption still isn't enough.
No, I mean, like, you still have yeah, it can do some damage to him, but he still gets like 2 impact webbings to just try to like push her off the point.
Yeah, and it's fairly weak.
Yeah, no, I think yeah, especially after that Rogue activation, I'm feeling pretty good as Nick right now.
I think you just run Spider-Woman to the corner. No, Nick.
Yep.
Just run Spider-Woman to the corner, bro. Oh, no. Actually, no. Look, he's just going to throw... He just throws Nightcrawler towards himself. Oh. And that's another way to keep her safe. Yeah, that works too.
Yep.
So, I mean, Nick kept his head in the game. There was a point in time where Theo looked like he had like a really good position. Some dice spikes that really helped him out. But yeah, Nick kept his head in the game and made it work.
Nice. Yeah, a couple small misplays for Nightcrawler. I think for Theo, unfortunately, like kind of started lagging him back in the last couple rounds.
Yeah, I think you need to. I mean, he also had those camera issues, so maybe that threw off his game. But it seemed like
Mm.
he looked through every possible line he had, and that was what he chose to do.
Mm.
Like he definitely was diligent in his decision making. So I think that Juggernaut activation is just what he thought was the best line.
Yeah, it's very dicey right at the end of the day because 8 dice Juggernaut punches, as you know, always can go one of two ways, right?
Yeah, but even if it works out, like the ninjas can just go pick up one of the extracts and be in a good spot
Mm.
where it's hard to impact the game. Oh, spectacular hitting for 4.
Huh.
So it's just a little cherry on top.
Well, I guess yeah. Kurt's already on 6 power, so I guess giving him any extra power doesn't really matter at this point.
I'm gonna assume you didn't see the opening of the game, right?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was Theo did the mass transit Nightcrawler stuff. It was pretty sick.
What? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he portaled up Juggernaut, Nightcrawler, Xavier, and Rogue, and then he was able to get a Daze on Black Hat round 1. It was pretty cool.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Not a bad turn from Spectacular.
Nope.
All but close out the game.
Oh,
Oh,
that was in
that was
Rogue.
Rogue. I did not
Nice.
see that coming.
Okay. All right, Nick.
Um,
Yep, and if you got the swinging strike after dazing Rogue, you can go back onto the point, so that gives you another point potentially if they don't want to like do anything about him. So yeah, that was a good line there. I like that.
at this point, I don't know if Theo keeps measuring short, but he's not slowed.
Yeah. Hmm. Some players really miss rocket boots and whatnot to get that extra bit.
Lucas, the previous round, he moved short, and then he didn't have any actions, like anything he could do with his actions, so he shook the short. Curtis. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if Nick noticed that Nightcrawler is moving short and should be moving medium, is not saying anything to. Um, but if I was Nick, I don't think I would remind him.
Yeah,
I
like
would.
you don't have you. It's not a must move at your speed, right? It's a you can move at your speed or lower, right?
Yeah, I mean, I might have reminded him at one point, but we're in essentially game 2 we are about to hit the 3-hour mark in 5 minutes, 4 minutes.
Yep.
And like I said, I know Nick has work in the morning.
Yep. I'm not trying to belabor this much further, Okay. So we portal 3. No one's within 3s. You got to do at least a walk to attack somebody.
If you can walk to be within 2 of someone, you can. I don't think he maybe if he can walk to be within 2 of Electra, he could do his. Oh no, he can't even get a senator off them and score it.
What it does do is that it prevents the ninjas from going, right, if Electric gets dazed.
Yeah, but that could potentially extend the game.
That's true. Yep, he definitely thinks he's still slowed. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's one. I don't think I'm going to mention it to him once the game ends.
Okay, that's fair.
Right? So,
Theo, when you review this, we're sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, it is a 3-hour game.
well, I don't. I
Unfortunately.
mean, I just don't want to bring it up afterwards and be like, "Hey, buddy, did you forget that you weren't?"
No.
Yeah,
No.
I'm not gonna.
I think he'll realize that if he watches this tape back. It's not a big deal.
Did Theo let him take back the fallback play early in the game? Yes, he did. We had a long discussion on it earlier that at ACO the same situation happened and they did not let him take it back, and we all gave the player shit for not letting him do the take back. All right, so he's doing just a regular attack. Oh, actually, I didn't see. Was he within range too? He rolled 5 dice now, so. Oh, but
No, he's outside of range too.
Yeah, but he hit well, but
Not enough because Electra also blocked really well and with cover as well.
yeah.
So that'll keep her pretty safe. And at this point, I think the game is essentially over.
Yeah, it's just a matter of. I think Nick has to just.
Don't do anything silly.
Yeah, just go pick that up.
Yep.
Electra move to a point and heal. Because he's got 5 extracts.
Yep. I don't know if he's trying to min-max like a pickup then attack, but I would just pick up at this point. There's no point really in attacking Juggernaut, I think. Especially since you can just walk Electra. Well, actually, I'm not sure if you actually can walk Electra there. There's actually some pretty decent body blocking that occurred.
Oh yeah, she's holding a center, so she can't.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, just head back. Oh, but you can't because you got. She doesn't have wall crawler.
You make an excellent point.
So there's things we can let go, but that's I cannot allow that.
No, that's all you. You got it. Something's happening. Someone attacked someone. Presumably,
Yep,
Professor
I think
X is into Spider-Man.
Yep, just
I'm
do
not.
something.
Yeah, just on his way out the door, just maybe headbutt Spider-Man.
Yep. And that'll move him off the point, so Chuck can claim the point closest to the scoreboard. Yep. All right. Very simple. Jessica can just, on a fly glide at that point.
All right, so he's gonna score 1, 2, 3,
4. Because the ninja should have an extract.
Yeah,
as
so
well,
he'll score 5 points, go to 17. All right.
Yep.
I think we can join their chat. Where is it? I closed out some things so long ago.
Yep. Are they on the TTS?
Yeah. They're right below us or above us.
I think. Hey, how's it going?
All right. We have a totally different crew than we started with. Simon and Will both went to bed.
Oh, fair enough.
Hello.
Hey guys,
Hey,
hi
how's
Jen.
it going?
Hey.
Fine. And you?
We're
Good.
It was a marathon of a game. I have to give you a lot of credit, Nick, that a 3-hour game when you have to get up in the morning for work, and you able to keep your head about you and make.
I made some mistake at the end. It's late, and I made some like the wall crawler thing. Thanks, Jen, for catching it up. I'm a little bit a bit numb at this time. But thanks for Theo for making like the sacrifice for this game to happen, or it wouldn't have happened. So thanks, Theo.
My pleasure, man. Yeah, and like we'd sort of spoken around beforehand, saying we're not worried about time; we'll just play it out, and because I could have a pretty poor connection across the Pacific.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're worried that there'd be technical issues that would hamper the clock back and forth?
And
Yeah,
Theo
it was just
had
in
some
terms of,
issue through the game, like with his mouse, with lag. At one point his dice didn't work for 5 minutes, so he did have issues.
Mm.
Yeah, we'd already talked about it before, though, because it is tricky over the Pacific. There's just a little bit of wear and tear creeping into the mod, which isn't doing anyone favors. But we chatted about it beforehand, so we were both prepared just to play it out.
Gotcha. Okay.
Guys, have any question about the game?
You know what? There's a couple of things in the early rounds I did, but I can't remember what those were. I had a couple of beers during the game, and it went along a long time. But I will say, Theo, I was really interested in that mass transit opening. So, like, a quick question for you is: do you feel the mass transit opening, the sacrifice you have to make with Wong, the TTC? Did you think it was do you think it was worth it, and that it put you with enough of a lead or enough of a position to take advantage? Because it seemed like it worked out really well for you. The only mistake I saw with it, or question I had, was you didn't take the center you inevitably took with Xavier. We thought you were going to take that with Nightcrawler. Was that a positioning mistake on where you placed him, or was that a mistake, an intentional decision that you were going to not pick up a VP with Nightcrawler round one?
No, I did pick up a VP with Nightcrawler because he picked up the one that was at my top right or Nick's bottom left, so he was able to place after the attack and pick up
right.
an extra.
But if you had grabbed the senator that Xavier did, he could have scored 2 VPs by grabbing that side extremis. I think that's what we were looking at.
As in this side.
No, in the center, the one that Xavier picked up. If you had grabbed that with Nightcrawler after placing him, he could have attacked in the Black Cat and then placed 2 off Black Cat and scored the extremis as well.
Yeah, okay, that's actually a good point. I didn't. That was something I missed because my normal play isn't to do that. Where Nick got me was I like to have Xavier out here to be able to grab the bottom left one, and then he can make it across to that extremis. And now Nick had played aggressively and taken that one with Black Cat. So my thinking was at that point I wanted to make sure I picked up that top one, and I also wanted to try to get a power to blip with Kurt to turn the rest of the stuff on. You are spot on. I should have placed Kurt a bit further away, and I also, being out of 2, would have meant that I could have dropped a stun on Black Cat, which would have made dealing with her a little bit easier, just saving a few power here and there. So yeah, spot on. That was probably an error. But look, overall, it's a play that's worked over and over again with my roster. I've actually played this into the old Brotherhood, Hulk Jugs, Mystique, and the bells and whistles, and it does really well into that too because Rogue's really effective at power draining, and then you turn those big size 4s into bowling balls with Bill and do you know who I am? And of course, Rogue has a size 4 terrain throw, so you just start throwing out massive amounts. And I found that when I played into it, most of the time you end up with Pyro and or Totem Mystique dazed pretty quickly from those bowling balls at them.
Yeah, you had us really excited, and I'm genuinely interested to explore a little bit more Xavier myself, and I know Simon is as well. Like we were so hyped when we saw Mass Transit was coming out, and to see how you opened it, and you put yourself in a really good position around one that we were excited to see how it played out, and then you had a few rolls really go your way, and we were wondering how Nick was going to respond, but it seemed like you kept your head in the game, Nick. There was a point where when you had your Miles days, you grabbed those dice to re-roll them so freaking fast. I was like, oh, this guy, I don't know if he's getting tilted or what yet, but then you really recovered and you found your outs and you played to them, and you really closed out that game strong, Nick. That all webbed up ended up being really effective at denying a VP that was relevant. So kudos to you on that.
I think Theo, when I was calculating tree, he was you can't jump, and I'm like, no, I'm looking at something else. And when I put up the all webbed up, I think that's one thing he didn't expect at all when I did the all webbed up SSM.
Yeah,
I think it's really you really notice it when it's being played offensively, but playing it defensively caught me off guard for sure. I think you know, when you go ahead, there's two things that the opponent can do. They can play better and they can exploit a mistake. And I really feel that where Nick got me was when I picked up that extract down here with Wong, and he pointed it out after I'd done it. But if I'd just moved Wong twice and moved him further away, I'd have denied Miles that second attack. That would have been probably in the concept in the a 2-point swing and also a little bit more activation control. So I think that's probably for me when he one shot him, forced out Xavier's dream, and then he got him again with Miles. That to me is I think where Nick exploited my error and really won the game. It cost me a card and cost me a couple of points at least.
I was quite happy when Xavier's dream and Do You Know Who I Am came out. Like I told him, I understand like the point over here, but it's such an impactful card, and I finished the game with Brace, and there's Rogue and him with that card, so I'll take it as a win on my side for that. But yeah, I was quite happy for those two cards to go up the board since I felt I had like the move to go into Wong, so I was quite happy that he used it. It was still very close for Miles to get there, but yeah, that's what I told him. You should have moved twice, be on the back side of the point, and then yeah, he's down to 2 HP. He's probably gonna die like next turn, but he would have the point. I wouldn't have had the point, and it's a whole other dynamic. He doesn't KO the next round, so yeah.
Yeah, and I think as well, like the damage you did, that meant you ended up with about 4 power on the Spider Woman and
Instead
on
of
Miles, which just puts so much threat onto the guys holding objectives. So that whole little sequence of play, just I mean, you know, it's not dice. It's you had the opportunity, you exploited it. Wong doesn't have great defensive tech, but I don't think I'd stop taking him into the matchup because, you know, he did take a lot of resources to deal with, and I probably just didn't have professor position where I wanted to keep on the point, so I had to use Do You Know Who I Am. So there's a few little mistakes in there, but yeah, definitely you exploited his vulnerability, and that's what's won the game for you.
But I think if you don't use like Wong in that setup, you don't have mass transit turn 1.
Not turn 1. There is a play that you can do. There is a play that's good, and well, I think it's good anyway, and that is that you accept the fact that you're going to go 3/3 first turn. But I've spoken on Danger Room before about creating space as being a really crucial part of Marvel. And if you want to, you can run 4 4s and a 3, and the 3's magic. So you've got 2 blips available to you in the first turn to get some, and then you go 3/3, and then turn 2 becomes all about you know, dropping the damage early on people and then mass transiting everyone away. And so you end up hopefully with Kurt not picking up an extract in turn 1, but in turn 2 he does his attack, and then, you know, if you can Do You Know Who I Am or something like that, and then throw your mass transit, then you end up with the 4 extracts and all the carriers are a distance 3 away. So that's another really handy way of creating some isolation. You can also do it with a round 1 journey through limbo, and then round 2 mass transit everyone to surround the carrier, and that's one that you play with Iceman in there to slow them down so they just can't get to you once you've created the space. So there's lots of little mass transit has some really nifty applications in Senators.
I was quite happy to either not see either Iceman or Magic that you don't have in your roster. I mean, those 2 and Juggernaut are a pain to deal with for Web Warriors.
I normally use Magic with in the Black Cat spot, and I brought Black Cat in just for that stagger control. But yeah, Magic's a lot better with Xavier around.
Yep.
All right, fellas. I don't have any further questions for you. I got to get to bed myself. Theo, I see DeLuca in the chat mentions like maybe he should have you back on to talk to new listeners about some of your stuff. I personally, selfishly, would love to hear more of your thoughts on Xavier and your setup, because it's just not something we're seeing a lot of in the community. And I was saying during the stream, I think X-Men overall are underexplored, despite their popularity. And Xavier specifically, I think, is really underexplored. I'd like to see what people are doing with him. So, DeLuca, if you could make that happen, I would love to listen to that.
Yeah, happy to, Mike. And Namor is pretty nutty when you start feeding him round 1 power as well.
All right. On that note, fellas, thanks for hopping in and pitching in on that. And Nick, congrats making another round. You know to hit me up as soon as you schedule that. I'd love to commentate your next game and get more of your locals on with me. All right, fellas.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, man. You guys have a good night.
Guys. Thanks for having us.